Look at our faces. I mean, you can't see
Hey!
Dragon Slayer commentary's face for now and forever, but look at the other beautiful faces. Do we look happy about the fact that Amazon is still betraying in an obscene manner, in a horrific way, the beautiful legacy of Professor Tolkien and his British mythology? Because over here at Three Sages in a Time Machine, plus a dark hobby house elf, we really care about these topics of history, of mythology. We really want to make us understand of this incredible fabric that the universe has given us. And people like Jeff Bezos and their, creative cohorts are trying to actively destroy what's beautiful and magical about our past. And we won't.
The J.J. Abrams acolytes, J.D. Payne
we won't
and Patrick
accept
McKay.
that. So welcome to Three Sages in a Time Machine. This time at a slightly different time slot on a slightly different time slot, day slot.
It's different day, but it's the same time slot. Kind of crazy,
right? It's crazy. And I missed you guys. How are you? How is everyone?
I'm
doing very well, Coach, and hopefully, since we are focusing on a topic of the day that's so brain numbing.
Right.
We might get some viewership on your show, which
that would be amazing. Actually, this is all Ryan's effort because we actually had the secret space program as a topic, right? But he said nobody wants to hear about that, right?
Well, people do want to hear about it. It's just that more people would rather talk about a topic of the day, and that's the logic behind the decision. Rings of Power will be running for a good few weeks. We can try our best to highlight the problems with it. Of course, Dragon Slayer and Darby have really penetrated the subject very, very well, despite the fact that Darby is sterile from cancer and Dragon Slayer is a dragon.
Yeah, look, it's
so he'll probably split any partner in half.
Should we like?
It's an evil world we live in. Okay.
A round of applause to our chat.
All right, yeah.
That is brave enough to sit in with us frustrated, depressed, and very angry human beings, right?
You about shall not pass.
All right, we have Tom Bombard Elf.
The only person on this show that's an actual incel is Dobby because he's sterile from cancer.
Oh, look, he's just
say that to my face.
He's just cosplaying as Tom Bombadil, okay?
What is going on? I mean, what is going on with Amazon? I mean, are they basically, if you think about this, right?
Yes.
Just kind of turn back the wheel of time, right? And imagine this. Oh, there is about to hit.
That was a bad show as well, Coach.
Whoa, that was probably even more awful, right?
This is already turning.
No, but really, I'm hearing echoes. I'm always hearing the same stuff, right? There is a new show coming out from the Legacy Media Complex. Already before the show is coming out, before even a pilot is being released, right? Before we even see trailers sometimes. Get this. We're already seeing red flags all over the place, right? Whether it's Disney, whether it's Marvel, whether it's... I'm sorry, what?
Have you had your eyes checked for that? Seeing red could be, kind of...
Well, maybe I have the Taurus syndrome. Yeah, you're right. No, but what I'm trying to make the point here that we're seeing always the same pattern kind of repeating itself. Whether it's Disney, whether it's Amazon, it doesn't matter. They're always making. It seems that they're always making the same mistakes. So they're introducing new characters to old IPs that don't make any sense in the context of being there. They reverse the hero's journey into de-villainizing the antagonist and making him actually more human in all of its aspect. They're changing canon. They're trying to kind of twist with the essential values of the story, like in Star Wars. Now it's happening also to Lord of the Rings or Rings of Power, because this has nothing to do with Lord of the Rings.
And better to call it Rings of Piss, my good man. That's what I like to call
Rings of the Poor Insult, or I don't know. It's happening again. And I thought this is you can't even go worse than the first season, but it looks like they actually achieved that. They accomplished something incredible, like being even worse than the first season.
There's so much wrong with what we have seen recently through Amazon's depiction of Lord of the Rings, but are we really surprised? Would we let FedEx create a fucking Lord of the Rings show, or UPS,
no.
or any other delivery company?
Hubris, sheer hubris, right? Like,
Yeah.
understand that this is not your craft. I mean, the crazy thing is, as a coach, right? People come to me and say, "How can I enter entertainment industry? How can I get into this, big, beautiful industry?" And it's like, hey, like everything else, fundamentals always matter. So how does your material look? How is your portfolio looking? Like fundamental stuff. What is it that you're telling me with your portfolio? And all these kind of basic tools that you need in order to get representation, to get like kind of at least, looked at from the casting directors to submit for your auditions. All this stuff is, you need these basic requirements even to enter entertainment industry. So to me, it's an amazing feat that these top elite players of entertainment industry seem to make the most fundamental, basic errors that you the mistakes that you should avoid at all costs, right? That you hire people that are clearly not accomplished professionals in the field of directing, of story writing, of acting itself, right?
Makeup, literally
makeup, costume design.
Special
I
effects.
don't know about the costume design, but we know as a fact that the pain symbiotic showrunners, whatever, these weird beings, we know that they aren't accomplished directors, and yet Amazon gives them this ultra. I'm just imagining Peter Jackson with this ultra budget, what he could have, pulled off, right?
Oh,
to
yeah,
give
he
them
would've.
ultra
When
budget.
you're at the top for so long, Coach,
Right.
you forget how to climb the pyramid, and that's
Yeah.
exactly
That's
what's
interesting,
happened
right.
with the establishment.
I can't believe
especially
it.
especially the entertainment establishment. Even though they had a reinvention in the 70s and in the early 80s, let's not forget, folks, that was 40 to 50 years ago. A lot has changed, and when you've been on the top for too long, you forget how to climb the pyramid. You really forget how the game is played because you're at the top. You don't need to learn when you are at the top. And we've seen this now for at least 2 generations, maybe even 3. And the consequence is an establishment circling the drain, only being propped up by existing institutions. It's got nothing to do with their talent. It's got nothing to do with their capabilities. It's just inflated money and institutional power. And we've seen this especially with Amazon in the way they have directed their portion of Lord of the Rings. And it's so bad, it's made Warner Brothers' attempt, which has been very inconsistent in recent years, look fantastic. But these 2 great guys are the ones who have actually penetrated this show, while I stay away from it, and Coach uses a sniper rifle to shoot it from afar. That's the way to do it. Go ahead.
Right? Amazon thought, how the fuck could we mess up a premiere of season 2? Hold our beer, because we're going to spend the first 30 minutes doing a backstory to season 1.
That should have been included in the last episode of season 1.
You forget the primordial
It's
flood.
insane, though. The idea.
Now they also flipped. Should we go through this slightly chronologically, or should we just throw shit at this
we'll
for the
get
next
to that
2
in a
hours?
moment. I want to say something interesting, right? So it's fun. It's fun. You mentioned you mentioned Warner Brothers, because their latest foray, right, in Lord of the Rings, because of contractual obligations, they cannot make a TV show because Amazon stole those rights from them. Okay? So I told them, so Mephisto was saying, hey, I should probably dust off the books and read them again. And I said, yeah, you can find good hardcover editions that are not Amazon sanctioned, by the way. They don't have their covers. They're normal, 70th anniversary covers. Very nice, intricate art made by Tolkien. Very cheap.
Coach, I just want to tell you something before Dragon Slayer continues. Don't bring up anything in the chat. It really distracts Dragon Slayer. I watched him on Moxie Dame's show, and he couldn't answer a fucking question because he kept getting distracted by the chat. So don't bring it up.
It's Steve, and Moxie was throwing them
He's a
at
very
me.
attentive dragon. He likes to
would say-
please
she would
everyone,
be like, you know
right?
what do you think about
In
him?
with
This
one
was-
ear,
He
out with
helps
the
the
other.
people around
But
him.
I answer and entertain.
you
The crowd had questions. I entertained the question. Yeah, but
don't forget the primordial slide where. Okay, so
at least Dobby doesn't get distracted by the chat. So Dobby,
Because
what
Dobby
did
is
you
a
thought
pro.
about
okay, so
orc
like,
families and Sauron Jesus?
oh Jesus, yeah. Like the funny thing is, how could the orcs and everybody in Mordor not know that was Sauron who's come back? Oh, don't worry. No, you look kind of familiar. Weren't you a fucking black slug just going down a mountainside? Don't worry. I'm sure it's fine. It's fine. What could possibly go wrong? I'm going to influence the very person that killed me in the last season, but don't let that worry you.
instead of killing him,
You.
like, you know what's crazy? This is the crazy part of this entire thing, right? And I'm sorry, Mephisto, I can't. I gotta focus.
Yeah, you
But
got to answer a question within a statement.
Yeah.
Go right
Well,
ahead,
you know, I've
Dragon.
never read those books, but I will. But
It's
that
very
sounds
tempting to
interesting.
answer this question, Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Admit it.
I have
Oh
read
well,
them.
yeah, but you know, I'm actually searching. Oh, that's interesting. Well, I'll look at that later, Mephisto. But to continue with Rings of Power, at least, yeah. See, a random ass comment is more entertaining than this goddamn show sometimes. But we got to talk about it. So what annoys me is the fact that they try to give orcs like this whole like familial oppressed group sort of archetype, which
Even
I
Like a human, like almost a
they're trying to
human
humanize
notion.
them, but here's the thing, right?
They
don't-
are monsters.
well, yeah, but they don't understand at all the context because they could have done this properly in a certain way, right? Tolkien literally humanized them in a way by giving you their sad backstory of the fact that before they became twisted monsters,
Right.
they were just innocent elves and then later men that were just captured and tortured by Morgoth to a point where they became disfigured by the torture and the dark magic
Yeah, but
around
they
it,
don't.
right?
They don't feel human.
Exactly. They don't feel
feelings.
anything because they
Right.
are literally just anger and hatred, and
Right,
all
yeah.
they want to do is destroy.
Destroy and war,
like,
and
it's
like a
murder
mix
and
of-
slaughter
of-
people.
Yeah.
It's like
Everything.
a mix of gender transition and Islamification. It's like the orcs are tranning Muslims.
Dude, yeah, exactly. Tortured by the dark powers. And what one of the craziest part is, right,
They turned
is
up
that
the
I thought it would have been awesome. Like the idea of adding a unique character, like if it was written by somebody more experienced, of course, a character like Adar, for examtle, right?
Yeah.
This mysterious Uruk that looks like an elf to give. Hey, Dempsey. That gives this. That alludes to that very ancient past of this corruption, right? And it would have been just so awesome. Just think about this, right?
Like if you illustrate the split
Yeah,
when that actually happened, that chasm, right? That,
Yeah,
that-
but here's the best part, right? You could have actually made Adar into a consistent character throughout the entire show by just doing this simple thing, right? Instead of being the guy that is like this, almighty father of the orcs that protects his children and basically rebels against Sauron, they could have just made him into, like, say, the progenitor orc that survives the war, Balerion.
yeah,
and
like the
then-
first ape that stands up and develops intellect.
Yeah,
something
but
like
yeah,
that.
exactly. But here's the thing, right? They do that shit, and and you know what's crazy, right? So if they had turned Adar into like this,
Andy's gone.
oh,
By the
God.
way, not
Yeah.
to take away from the 6-minute stream of words, the cascade of consonants and vowels that are coming out of Dragon's Beacon. Just to answer this really quickly, it was Tolkien himself that said that there is no analogy in his writings.
That's
There
true.
is no analogy to any war, not to the Second World War, not to the first one. That he despised that actually, like deeply. He said, "This is British mythology. I want to give my people the mythology that someone canceled, right? That someone kind of erased from the books."
meaning the Catholics.
The
But
Catholics.
he
And,
would not say it, but that's what happened.
Yeah.
They
And
burned
he
shit.
also like hated London. So whenever he went
Yeah.
to London, that's where he got the depiction of Smaug the dragon. Because it
Yeah.
was all, like,
Oh, he'd hate London now.
Oh,
yeah.
he
was
hated industrialization in general. And
Yeah,
and
industrialization,
He was more of a naturalist than most people
Yeah.
are aware of. And so with the man, like just to go back to
It's very ironic. Before you continue,
Yeah.
Dragon Slayer, it's very ironic that a man who loved nature, his
Mhm.
legacy was destroyed by a company named
That hates
after a rainforest. A rainforest.
yes,
This is some sort of
fucked up.
cruel irony right there.
Hey, you love trees, Token? Well, a tree's about to fuck over
you,
your
you.
franchise.
Right.
And the worst part is, it's a name for a delivery company whose packages are made out of paper.
Destroy
which is
them.
But of course,
made
he's
from
also
steel.
referring to the mythological tribe of the Amazon warriors.
Yeah.
But true, it's
Yeah. What?
look at him. He's Bombadil. What are you? He's sort of
Yeah.
I like
He's a trans witch.
No, that's the lady. That's the Eminem groupie lady from Rings of Power, right? And get your facts right. Come
sure.
on.
No, I understand what you mean, Mephisto. Yeah, they do. They
They
represent.
do represent that, yes. And the thing is, right? So
Wait,
Tolkien.
I thought
Go
orcs
on.
represented black
Don't
people.
interrupt him, otherwise it's gonna take longer. Let him finish this endless sentence, please.
I do want to continue the sentence.
Orcs represent kind of the subcultures that were
Let's
workhorse of everything. So like the working class people, but below the working class people. So
Mhm.
they were always gonna be okay. Effectively, let's call it for what it was. Yes, they're black, and two, they're slaves, and they are not meant to have fucking Los Familias.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, like, the orcs were just represented. Oh, fuck y'all, you. Just let me finish. God damn it. So the orcs were just.
Is this a vintage shirt, Dobby?
Yeah. You know. Oh God, Davi, silence. Okay. So the orcs in general are just seen as like super sickly and inferior, and kind of like you, Dobby. Sorry, that you you deserve that.
It was on
after
a silver
fucking me
platter.
over.
I mean, let's
Dobby-
admit. It wasn't a,
Dobby-
come on, it wasn't a silver
Dobby
platter.
doesn't look like an orc. Dobby looks like a goblin.
They're the same thing according to Tolkien, anyway. But anyway, with Adar, I thought the way they could have done this additional
I agree.
original
agree.
character well is they would have just had to made him instead
you know,
of rebelling against Sauron, siding with Sauron the entire film and using him like as the first, I guess, high commander, maybe alluding
I
to
agree.
Gothmog. And
I
the Witch
actually
King.
thought that was. I thought that was.
That's what people
What
probably
I
wanted.
actually thought in the beginning is like, maybe they're
And then he
twisting him
gets
into the
fucking
super.
killed in the War of the Last Alliance, even though he's not canon. His character fits the canon.
It was the
and
only
ends
character
well.
that was actually slightly interesting.
And then
because
they
the
changed
actor,
actors.
yeah, and then they changed it because
But the
I
actor,
think-
but the actor they switched it up with was just as good. But I still prefer the first one. I'm
the
sorry.
first one had something about him. It's
He
like,
had gravitas. That he
it
had the gravitas.
I
so,
agree. And there is
absolutely.
another fact that for me is the most astonishing one is
Yeah.
again that Amazon is making poor decisions in terms of what people they're hiring. We know. We discussed this on Saturday night. They're hiring these people so they can put down these producers' notes, right, and kind of direct the movie, from behind the desk and not having any individual stopping whatever the agenda is with their direction. So they're hiring people that are, willingly they're hiring people that have no experience, no status, no leverage, no real power. So nothing can stop the desk officers, the DEI hires, and all the other people to kind of intervene and interfere with the story. We get that, even though that is, in my opinion, like really bad, business politics, because the products that they are crafting are not a subpar your usual standard as a company. You have a certain reputation, even though you're producing and doing something completely different. You still are, kind of revered as one of the biggest companies on this planet. So therefore, automatically, there's a certain status that comes in. And I think Jeff, like what he tried to do there in the beginning was to construct something truly epic. Now the problem is, when you look at the actual footage, to me, that's the most astonishing part. Leave aside that they're disrespecting Tolkien, that they are pissing on the canon, that they are twisting good and evil and humanizing the villain and villainizing the actual beautiful characters of the elves. Leave aside all that. Just look at the production value. These scenes that they're shooting,
Oh shit!
They look cheap.
they're cheap. They look small. They look
Have you
modest.
seen?
They look like nothing epic, nothing big. Like the scale is so.
Yeah, I mean, look, there was one. Goodness, there was one scene in particular that told me that quite well that the budget, this ridiculous over $1 billion budget that they had, it didn't. Not a lot went into season 2 because. There's a scene in
How is
when
this
they're in
possible
Casa Doom.
that this shit looks so
Coach,
random?
I'll give you an example. There's a scene in
So
Casa Doom.
generic.
But look, the scene when they're in Casa Doom and like they're singing because the stone for some fucking reason is just not it's having earthquakes and the lights gone, right? But before they go into like that area where the lights go away, they show like the camera going through this narrow corridor area in Casa Doom, and I have some background footage I have downloaded, but as always, I am reliable. But from the actual episodes, and as you go through it, you think at first I thought I was going through like a weird cutscene sequence from like a 2014 game, like. Dragon Age Inquisition had better cutscenes with better effects than this fucking sequence. It's true, Ryan.
Why wasn't Dragon Slayer on the Tangent King stream on Ryan's channel?
Because he was too busy not being host of his own show, Dempsey.
And he was downtown doing his.
I think in new terms it's called booty time.
Yeah, but the strangest thing about that show, Dempsey, is that the debut episode of reality-based Tangent Kings, to go on a slight tangent, has actually been the most viewed Tangent King episode ever. So Dragon Slayer, maybe you should host it on my channel. You might get some more views.
He's getting really big, Ryan.
Like the other thing with that introduction is like with the production value, they had a piece of
this looks okay. This kind of looks okay.
Well, yeah, because that's what most of the budget went to, the battle scenes.
Right. Battle
we all know
scene,
that's what
CGI,
happened.
even though the CGI could be, I don't know what that is.
It's better than the Hobbit CGI.
Yes, yeah. I mean,
in terms of like the battles maybe will look more realistic because in the Hobbit they looked
looks good. The background not so much, but the forefront looks, in my opinion, it's okay. They don't look like necessarily like orcs. They look like it could be also like this shot from the back. It could be some barbarians.
I mean, they did mention they have they call them wildmen, but like
the wildmen. Yes, exactly.
But they're not all wildmen. If we go by the lore, they're like a mix of like Easterners and Southrons, and then some wildmen that they just enslaved along the way or tricked them into fighting with them. Like the thing that people don't understand is the reason why the Second Age was considered very bad in terms of like what happened is because everyone underestimated Sauron, because he used to be a literal powerful lieutenant for basically Uber Satan, if you would like to describe it that way. And
my name is Uber Satan.
Yeah, I mean,
so he was the Leslie Headland to Melkor's Weinstein.
Basically, except more evil.
Who's more evil, Leslie Headland or the Pain Kane, whatever the name
Sauron.
is?
Definitely, I would say.
Guys, let us know in the chat who is more evil in your opinion.
That's hard, Coach.
The former Harvey Weinstein assistant or the Pain.
But
brothers?
I would rather a literal Satan rule the world than a lesbian. Okay, and I'm sure Tolkien
it's the same
would
thing
as well.
Yeah, but the thing is, right? So
lesbian though.
Mm-hmm. But the funny part is, right, is that Sauron...
This looks fucking generic.
It does
already,
generic.
This looks generic. It's the same.
Oh, you can use, by the way,
same color.
I just want to tell you right now, guys.
Catapults.
Yeah, you can use up to like 25. You can use up to like 25 seconds. That's how little Amazon gives a fuck about copyright. I just found out it's the same as it was.
Look at this.
2
Look
years
at
ago.
this wave animation of the.
Yeah, it's like
this is-
an army of skeletons.
Yeah,
It literally is. No, and
They
it's
don't
also
move like
a-
orcs. It's super far away. The misty bridge in the background. It's
Wait,
just
can
an
you just show the
excuse for
sequence
laziness.
of them running, like from the very beginning?
Why
Sorry.
the fuck
Sure.
why the fuck do the wild men
War's
have
coming to Middle-earth.
Yeah. Okay. So over here they don't. They seem.
catapults. How the hell would they even have catapults? They're
Well-
not that smart.
Well, I will say.
Yeah.
Well, here. Well, I can at least explain off the catapults. So Tolkien did make it clear that Sauron was the equivalent of a dreaded. No. Tolkien did describe in the books that that Sauron was sort of like this very inventive pupil of Aule, the Valar, the Smith of the Valar. Okay. And
Squarehead
he learned,
land.
and he was
Nice.
yeah, and he was obsessed with technology. And Sauron did create dark engines and did dark experiments to basically become a dangerous force of evil in from the Second Age on. So what he would do is he would basically get men to handle the more intricate matters, while the orcs were more of literal grunt labor and just meat shields, as his more specialized units of evil men and dark creatures were usually used mostly for shock attacks. Okay,
Slavs
This
and
is a
blacks.
trebuchet. That means that the catapult is the one that we load and we charge
it's not a
with the.
trebuchet. That's too short. That's just a catapult. I'm
Are
quite
you
sure.
sure it's a trebuchet? Because I always.
It doesn't look like a trebuchet because it's not big. Not that big enough to be trebuchet. It has to be
Oh, are you
catapult.
sure this is not some sort of a trebuchet?
It cannot
Oh.
be. It cannot be trebuchet.
Oh,
And
are
it
you
is-
catapulting? Are you catapulting orcs into the bastion? Huh?
Oh my god, they did
Ah.
that one time.
On this stream is extremely homosexual, and I will
Oh.
not have it.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm
Oh.
sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I
Look, their
you know,
catapults suck. Like, these were supposed to be trebuchets, they designed them wrong. Like, these must be.
But I have to give Darby credit because
Yeah.
Okay, sure, Sauron, smarty boy, bada boom, bada bum, but you know,
Bada boom, bada bing, bada bam.
still, I don't feel this trebuchet or catapult, whatever this launching, object, contraption is named like it doesn't feel orcish.
Amazon Prime delivery guaranteed.
Like if you look at Warhammer or 40K, Warhammer, they use sometimes these launching like these huge slingshots, but they have like an absurd orc logic to it and the way they're built, because orcs they don't construct stuff like we do. They don't go the path of least resistance, so they would build these things differently. They would have a different spiky shape, a different character. These seemed all copy and pasted just in the background, just changing a couple of the ropes here in the foreground, but they all look the same.
We saw in Return of the King what kind of artillery that Sauron's army used, and it was a catapult. Very simple, very basic.
But they had
Horde of
trolls,
Sauron.
and they were huge, though, and because they were invading a very highly walled city. Their siege towers and their catapults, or trebuchets, sorry, were made sense because they were using trolls to literally lift up these big ass boulders and throw them, and guarantee that they'll go over the walls and do some damage, or at least incite terror.
Orcish siege engine. No, that's. I think that sounds
Nobody tosses a
accurate. I
door.
like that.
Dragon Slayer's girlfriend.
Fuck you.
Bam, ba bam, bam.
I would rather turn into a celibate monk than ever do this.
It's
than ever be
strange how our
associated with this woman.
opposition.
Thing is a celibate monk here, Wazuk.
Okay.
It's strange that our opposition call us incels when Coach is married, Dragon Slayer has a girlfriend, I get all the fat bitches, and Dog has cancer, so he's sterile. So he's an incel because he's got
What
cancer.
the fuck?
Okay. This
Jesus.
is a
How
trebuchet.
it works, shit.
This is a sexual stimulation contraption for the French. This is what the French king and their
Yes.
perverted allies use.
Oh, have a taste of my trebuchet.
I do. And then boom, we think.
Why is it that the Italian, German dude and the British men
I'm
just
Sicilian.
immediately go to fucking around with the French?
It's because the French, we know.
It's just genetic. It's just is it just genetic opposition?
No,
Just
it's not genetic
automatically
opposition. It's
anything related to the French where it's gonna
Because
fuck them
they're
over.
it's because they're a bunch of pretentious wankers.
yes,
Dragon.
they stole
Hey, it's
an
like
enemy.
Amazon. Makes sense now.
We get the bills. We put the bills into the machine.
Oh, we smoke while we see the little babies burn. Oh, we love that. We are the French.
Oh God.
Seriously, if anyone is watching the show and you live in France, go fuck yourself.
What is this editing? What is this fucking generic bada boom boom bastard?
Bada boom boom bastic.
This is not Lord of the Rings.
It's not. It sounds like it's more like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, yeah.
Except that one was
For
good.
what it's worth, yes, that was actually quite good. I quite enjoyed it.
I want to see.
I just rewatched it on the plane, and it's just like, yeah, it's good.
I think
It's a good
what
movie.
happened
It's a-
was when they were shooting this, they were telling him to walk like he was on the catwalk. He was like, "Oh, check out me!
Yeah.
I am Sauron. I got like that hair." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!"
You know what's crazy, right? So I think there are 3 actors. No, maybe there's a 4th one, but there are at least 3 actors that I can say in this show that they come off as being good actors because I'm saying from the first season. But the problem is they look like the ones that were literally
Killed.
hoodwinked into thinking they were getting on something good, and then when they finally got into it, they can't get out due to contractual obligations, right? So in my opinion, right, I think Charlie Vickers, who plays Sauron, bro, here, his acting is good, but the script
not
is
bad.
shit.
Yes,
And
it's
the
not-
makeup is
it's
shit.
not
Like
bad.
I can see him pull off an Anatar easily, right? And also this guy that plays Gil-galad, he's been in other movies as well and dramas. I can see him easily pulling off a good Gil-galad, but again, shitty script. Robert
and
Aramea-
shitty ears and shitty ears.
Shitty ears that look way longer than any other elves'
Yeah,
ears.
look
like,
at this.
Yeah. No, and the hair is more of a mullet than an actual elf hairstyle.
Right.
Redneck. Yes.
Yeah.
And where is
We're gonna get you, boy. Give me the damn
where's
rings.
Galadriel's husband? Where is he?
He was sent to the Shadow Cuck realm where he will never come out. Meanwhile he is forever cursed to watch Sauron basically.
He went into the French underground.
Galadriel. He's
at the ground. We
yeah.
Yeah. Je suis très très désolé. Si tu
Hey,
fuis,
Franchi, remember the
sentiment
bien fou.
enfant,
Welcome to the Crazy Bastard podcast, ladies and
Yes,
gentlemen.
I told you.
3 pretentious wankers and reality-based. That's what we'll rename this
That's
bloody show.
perfect.
It's perfect.
Some elves shouting yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
Yeah.
No, I get what you're
Let's go
saying.
get 'em,
He's
boys.
he's
Give me
definitely-
them rings.
Walk it. Oh yeah.
I'm a badass.
Let
I'm
me read this comment.
Oh, okay.
For comparison's sake, Dungeons and Dragons is a game version of Lord of the Rings. It is a true adaptation that took on its own life. ROP is a money laundering sloppy slog show.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, but the way he's
That-
walking is a bit like, oh, I am like the ultimate.
Coach.
I'm sorry.
For comparison's sake.
Oh God. No, don't do it like that. Oh my God.
The
For
sisters and brothers from
comparison's
Dungeon. Yeah, do you do it better? You do it
Oh,
better.
God. no.
You
What?
know,
Well, no, I was saying,
No,
for
you have-
comparison's sake, Dungeons and Dragons is a game version of LOTR. It's a true adaptation that took its own life. ROP is a money laundering sloppy slog show.
Ah, man, this is good.
That's all it is.
This is better than.
Just full of a bunch of pretentious wankers.
You know, Dobby, of all the people on this panel, you could actually gender transition without too many problems because you're already sterile. You
Oh
need
my
the
God.
estrogen to counter the
God.
cancer.
It's good to have.
And you love wearing women's clothes. So
Oh yeah.
there you go.
I love that shirt. He's
I love that shirt.
I love that shirt.
Oh, you mean the oh my
Dobby
God.
shirt.
Once the deceiver obtains a being...
Why is he wearing? Is he like in a thrift shop? What is this? Is this LA? Is this like, is he going to the club? And he's I got my gems, I got my eyes, I got my bling bling, bro. Oh, this is modern Vice. What is this shit?
He's getting ready for his next mixtape when he faces
He's going
up
to the
against
fucking club. Hey, bro, hey, look at my red, look at my...
Hey, Lord of the Rings.
What is this? Are they fucking insane? This is Tolkien.
Hey, look.
Grace,
Coach.
beautiful, elegance, eternal, ethereal, immaculate expression. That's what the elves are. Dude!
Hey, bro, look, I'm telling you, man. Like,
Gains a being's trust. He gains the ability to sculpt their very thought.
I agree with you. He's an acceptable actor. I think, like, if you would give him an acceptable script, something adequate, something over the pavimentation of that there, then he would actually be a good.
You could pull it off.
And strut and walk it.
Yeah. Wait.
It looks all so cheap and flat.
The Numenorians. Don't even get me started. These Numenorians. Do you know what? You know what? They should have done.
Imagine if Peter Jackson had this budget. Yes.
Let's read the comments. Actually, can we read some comments? Oh, wait. In this age.
Fuck you, Amazon.
Right.
Okay. Look, just to be fair to Amazon, if you're watching, I mean this. From the bottom of my cold.
Me too. I've been playing
Amazon.
Late.
Fuck you.
Undead Heart.
You know, Dobby, you always say that about people you don't like, but I guarantee you, no one you don't like is watching any show you're on.
Oh, fuck off, you.
It's not true.
It is.
Stop decorating. What are you doing with this guy?
There's a trailer
He's
for
a
a
gender
Nosferatu.
bender.
What the hell? That looks more entertaining than
denigrate, his accomplishments.
Why is your YouTube in fucking Spanish?
It's Italian.
It's Italian.
Wanker.
I don't fucking care. Why is it in a foreign
You
language?
fucking twat. It's fucking Italian.
Can you distinguish Spanish from Italian?
Spanish.
No.
How the fuck did you not? I love the bro. We need to scroll further down.
Fucking
Like we need to
Germany, living in Germany for decades, and he's still
Just
reading
comments.
in Italian.
the Harfoots. Yes, you're right. They don't give. Actually, no. They care about.
No one cares. Like,
No.
4,100 likes.
Harfoots. Give me a fucking break. They got pwned by a tornado spell and still managed to fucking survive. Jesus.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Well, I may have been drunk. Is that the first episode?
It was in the very first episode. And the Harfoots.
I was drunk. That's probably why.
They had this big ass dark wizard who so totally wasn't a dark wizard. And the Harfoots like, don't worry, we're in camouflage. A wizard comes, but us.
We're in camouflage.
Look at this. It's
look at those rings.
they accomplished to make this look cheap. I don't know how they accomplish it.
Those
It's just
cost like $1 each.
it looks cheap.
Hey, let's go
It's
to Walmart
bad.
and get some
It
white
looks
rings.
small. Look at the placement in the palm. They haven't thought about anything. The
married.
whooshy
It's
lighting. Nothing makes sense.
You know,
Even
I need
this
to
little
look up
frame.
a picture of the rings, like from
so
the original
unholy.
Lord of the Rings trilogy.
So banal. How he's whole everything. It's just please.
I like the way he's got his wedding ring on. He's like, yeah, I just got 2 other rings right here.
Oh yeah, so this scene right here, the best part is they picked this part out, but in reality, it's like a very mundane scene where this guy and his wife got vanished, and he is mad because he doesn't want to fucking apologize to his dad for defying
Yes,
orders.
true.
Wall.
Now, what's very interesting about this look, folks, this still image, is that from my perspective, the woman is the one in the makeup, and the guy looks like the guy, but it's the exact opposite. He's the one caked in makeup, and she's actually herself, but it doesn't look that way.
But
at all.
the crazy part,
true.
right, is at least
Interesting point.
like even though the actress of Durin the Seventh, which let's not even get into the whole
he shouldn't
lore
be there.
bombing. No, let's put the lore bombing. Like they nuked this so hard,
Right.
Because in reality, everybody,
This guy shouldn't. Right.
No, there shouldn't be two Durins. Like, it should only
Right.
be this Durin, and that's it. The other guy should be alive, like,
And you know why? Because Tolkien thought of a bloodline, and that all Durins must first come to an end before a new Durin can be born. You fucking morons!
Yes, but Amazon doesn't think because they're a bunch of DEI.
It's unfucking believable disgrace.
it's insane.
And what's even worse is that the bulk of Amazon's film division and their television division came from their acquisition of MGM.
Yeah.
Which just makes it even worse.
Especially if you remember, like, the issues that they created, you know, during the Hobbit
that
production.
surprised me because, you know, in the 90s especially, MGM was working a lot with Disney, and I thought, well, of all the companies that would buy MGM, Disney would be the natural fit, even in the awful state it's in. But I was very surprised to find out that Amazon had bought the rights to MGM. They completely gutted the studio, and its current remnants are the ones that are responsible for almost all of their current projects.
No, well, I mean, the other things is, you know, somebody made the point about the first ever black female dwarf. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like totally progressive.
You can't mine melanin. I mean, it shouldn't be possible to have a black dwarf.
You say you can't fight melanin?
I said mine, you twat.
Well, the dwarf was born underground where there wasn't any sunlight.
Yeah.
And then the machine
they're black automatically. They got a suntan.
And so we have a black female.
That's orcs, you stupid bastard. Orcs are made from the ground, not blacks or dwarves.
Well, orcs, the way orcs are like born or created, that's up to like.
Orcs are made by machines.
They're
I saw Saruman make orcs from the fucking ground,
but that
mix them with goblin flesh to create the Uruk-hai.
That was the movie's interpretation because Tolkien was very vague in explaining how they came to be.
What? He's from the Roman era. Hey,
I'm so glad I can barely hear you, Dobby. Dragon, please continue.
No, actually, you know what? Thank goodness you paused here, because I had this criticism before it came out, right? And that is the elven armor here for the Noldor, okay? First off, the Noldor
The
armor...
Noldor, right.
Yeah, no, yeah. We have to be this specific, because the Noldor elves, which are the ones that Elrond, Gil-galad, and who were the ones that were most involved in the war until the rest joined in, because they had no choice, and they were far away. The Noldor were considered to be the strongest in terms of military prowess of all the elves. They had the best armor and weapons, best training, and more than anything, they're the longest living veterans. It was literally said that a squad of them, of a couple thousand of them, wearing their long-ass swords, could easily consistently kill thousands of orcs without ever stopping, as long as they had archer support behind them. And there's a reason why in the prelude 5-minute scene of Fellowship of the Ring, they show you their prowess by the fact that they are so organized and so in tune with each other that they can shoot arrows in between multiple people's bodies and not hit them and still hit their target in one kill shot, right? But the thing is, their armor in the original trilogy made them look exactly how Tolkien would have wanted them to look. Glorious. Like glorious and elegant.
A couple of examples.
Glorious and elegant, which is exactly what elves have always been described by him. Okay, and this is concept art from probably fans, and they still get this shit right.
Yes,
because they always describe the Noldor having like these sort of winged helmets. And obviously their generals and kings had more ornate helmets to tell them apart from each other.
It's like if the Reconquista was drawn, Coach, that image.
But look, this armor right here, this exactly exudes not only elegance but also ancient elegance and power, which is, and the only ones that were their equals in terms of the ornate affiliation of their armor would have been the mortals of Numenor. Okay? And here's the crazy part. The armor that the Noldor elves are wearing in the Rings of Power trailer would actually have made more sense to have thrown them on the Númenóreans. Like the Númenóreans would have looked better in their armor because that armor design fits more the theme that Tolkien used to describe the Númenóreans'
Because the Númenóreans are always a bit described by
scale
Tolkien.
armor.
Right, there was scale armor.
Fucking hell.
Tolkien gives us always like this Greco-Roman allure, a little bit about the
like a Bronze Age, you know,
exactly.
my Minoan sort of Mycenaean age. Yeah,
yes, that is type. You know, that is the Númenórean vibe, and the Noldors, like you were saying before, are way more glorious and even more ancient than that. And
look, I have a picture here, but this was made by a concept artist from ages ago. But let me share my screen so you can see this. So this is exactly what I been telling. I showed this a long time ago, if you guys remember, back in the day, right when we were reviewing season 1. This is the first design. Okay, maybe a little bit too small, but this right here, right. This design right here is what I always thought would make sense, right? So this would be Númenórean armor in the late Second Age when the Númenóreans were at their highest power, which is when our Pharazôn was canonically alive. Because our Pharazôn and Tar fucking Miriel and Isildur and Elendil, all those people were not alive when Sauron started fighting against the elves. They weren't even born yet. Their ancestors were not even born yet. Okay? That's how much of a blunder they did. Okay? And to make matters worse, right? This is how Númenórean armor actually would have looked like maybe during the time that that Sauron attacked the elves and eventually they asked Númenor to assist them, and that's when they started pushing Sauron back. Okay? This would make more sense. Okay? And it's canonically correct. They would have had these helmets that alluded to like that ancient Bronze Age armor design that was very akin to ancient Atlantis. If you know, you read the mythological descriptions of Atlantean soldiers and their armor, and the fact that the Mycenaeans had inspirations from the Atlanteans. But it's perfect. It's a perfect armor design.
It is.
It makes sense. They make sense. They would use spears. They're giants. Yeah. Okay. You might want to zoom in on your own screen, sir, because I want to see what you're trying to show here. Yeah. But yeah. So that right there, it's perfect. That's a good armor. That's good design right there. And the crazy part about all of this, right? I don't know if you still have that drawing I made ages ago. You remember that drawing from like when I gave you a screenshot of my character from Lord of the Rings Online?
Oh, man.
Yeah, you made that artwork. That was pretty good. Actually, you made it closely resemble a Númenórean armor, even though...
I know we can't get super chats, but I wanted to show off some of my artwork.
Thank you for donation. Oh, hey, Sonia. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Yeah.
We're penetrating Rings of Power.
As usual. But... dude, I'm telling you, no, it was a design like it was like an orange armor.
I remember.
Like a gold orange, well, more like a bronze armor design or something like that. Yeah, see, this was 2 years ago that he made these drawings. By the way, we were talking about Rings of Power, right? These were the Sindar elves that we were talking about that for some fucking reason did not show up when their forest caught on fire after. Amnesiac Gandalf.
And they're still perpetuating this thing.
He's not Gandalf. He's not acting like he acts like
boxing
Gandalf.
This. Oh my goodness!
Yeah. He acts like he acts like Gandalf,
everything.
walks like Gandalf, and even shits like Gandalf. No, he's not Gandalf.
He's not Gandalf. No.
Tom Bombadil is going to be in season 2 of Rings of Power.
Yeah, probably next episode. I'm quite sure, or the episode after that.
Right.
You know what they'll use them for? They'll use them for like for nature activism, because you know, I think their idea behind it is what's it called? Oh yeah, that's the design of the Witch King. That's
Hey
actually,
ho, I have superpowers, but I won't
Yeah.
get the ring. Hey ho, I have superpowers. Now I'm gonna fuck off, and then he just disappears.
yeah. No, and here's the crazy part, right?
That's Tom Bombadil, folks. It's like,
It literally
hey
is.
ho.
Yeah, hey
Nice,
ho, Mary
nice.
do. Yeah, dude. You know, what's the craziest part about all this? Yes, he's a good artist, Mephisto, and yeah, the. Okay,
Yeah, man.
So Tom Bombadil, they're gonna use him for some sort of like nature activism, which is
Nature
kind
activism.
of weird because
It's
it's
gonna
like
be the communist or the socialist of the
no,
story.
yeah, they're gonna give him like this weird thing of like, oh,
Which again,
yeah,
it has nothing.
I want to find out what
Tolkien
happened to the
hated
wives.
analogies. He hated analogies for a reason because they would make his characters small and
Yeah.
his stories
Uh-huh.
little and too conversational. That's why he always aimed at making everything like a mythology and making it
Yeah.
epic and not reducing it to these. Not that these causes
Mm-hmm.
are not right or not just to fight for or to think about. Of course, saving the climate, whatever that means, right? Or saving the planet, just taking care of nature, that is a good thing. But when activism comes into place, then all of a sudden you strip away the magic, and we are seeing this over and over and over again for the last 25 years, right? Where
Yeah.
activism ruins the hero's journey and the characters and their magnitude. So, putting down all these characters to these simple tasks to kind of pointing out the obvious makes them small and ridiculous and absolutely not, that they're now normal, generic.
It's also a great way of lowering standards, because if something is an analogy, if something was inspired by something else, it's a great way to lower the standards of storytelling, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why Tolkien didn't do it. That's why he focused on an English mythos specifically
Yes.
with Celtic elements, just
Yes,
like
and
Britain.
yes.
Yeah, just like Britain was essentially England with Celtic elements to support it, and that's what
Tolkien-
forged the United Kingdom. But essentially, folks, it's a pure original work to provide a pure original mythos for
Britain.
England. Unlike, say, George Martin's project, which was
Yes.
essentially a high fantasy version of the 19th and 20th centuries,
Right.
of which he hasn't finished because the 21st century is such an utter fuck up. He can't finish his story based off of it. What's going to happen?
Because he
The
used
dragons.
analogies and he
Yeah.
got caught into the activism, and now
What's going to happen? The dragons are going to fly into a couple of towers, and there's going to cause a massive civil war in Westeros. You never know, folks.
Yeah. Ooh.
But they've completely ruined elvish elegance in regards to Rings of Power.
They
The
do.
elves look like they should be the Númenóreans, and the Númenóreans look like they're wearing,
Cardboard.
glossy orc armor. And the orcs are just misunderstood victims. They're migrants.
Yes,
They're migrants.
right?
They
Oh,
are
no.
illegal migrants. They
Oh,
took
no.
over. They kicked out the original people.
I actually saw something on Twix, and I'd like to share my
Sure.
screen because I bookmarked it just in case, because we were going to talk about this. There we
Right.
go.
I think Dobby needs to head out. Do you want to spend a couple of words more for our creative community, Dobby? No? Did he already?
Go
leave?
and subscribe to Rev Ravenwolf.
Yes.
He's off to do some chemo now. I'm sure you will enjoy what he has to offer. But I'm gonna share my screen real quick. Here we go. All right, there we go. The orcs won't stop coming until the Shire looks like Mordor.
Yep.
Okay? Now, folks, I know Tolkien hated analogies as a concept, but fuck it. This isn't a story. This is real life. The orcs, this would actually be a great story for Lord of the Rings. The orcs, through some sort of propaganda campaign by Sauron, as the nice, fair Sauron, he goes into the elf world. Instead of, forging the rings to control the elves, she's like, well, the orcs have reformed themselves. I can vouch for them. Open your borders so we can welcome them, and they can become civilized and will live in peace and harmony forever. Then they start to come in, and then they come in more and more, like a parallel of like Europe. It's like they just keep coming, and then they start killing people, stabbing them up, all sorts of strife. And then Sauron's like, no, they're just acclimatizing to the elvish ways. They will learn in time.
Sauron is the
But then-
lord of the werewolves. He's the lord of the...
But then over time, more orcs come, and then they breed with elvish women, and they create these weird-looking hybrids, and then they become the majority. And then Sauron's like, well, if you don't like orcs, you're a bigot. Then the orcs vote for Sauron to lead the elf kingdoms.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And then when he gets elected,
in Wales.
he takes off his fair form, rules Middle Earth,
It's
and kills all the elves.
in Wales at this point of the day are usually very low. So please forgive our beautiful guest today that he's conceptually a bit derailing, but still, he has a point there that he made. Yes, they want to
Well,
introduce...
you left Germany for a reason, Coach.
Yeah, man.
It wasn't just for the work.
Of course not. Of course not. No. You're 100% spot on. This is, I mean, they've discussed this openly. It's not even a conspiracy theory. They discussed this openly. They said this, like when the European Union was coming into fruition, their agendas, what they had in mind. It was already available by the end of the 70s. The 80s, they were just there to inform people that they weren't going to build this thing by the year 2000. It's called the European Union, and everything was clear what they had in mind, right? To kind of let these refugees in, these immigrants, asylum seekers all in, destabilize these governments that are now under the rule of a blue flag and a yellow star, right? Their own colors, their own identities have, been erased. Now you're just this random generic yellow star on a blue flag. And so you had to obey whatever the dictate, of Brussels is. And who controls Brussels then controls Europe. And so that's a strategic maneuver that was played out, pretty well, I have to say. They organized this from a long range, and everybody knew what was coming, and still nobody really protested and said anything against it. Because in the beginning, of course, they're socialists and all their cohorts and all their brothers and sisters. They come in with all these nice words, like you were saying. It's just a necessary thing to do.
The lords of gifts.
Yes,
so to
exactly.
speak.
Literally, they became the literal Lord of Gifts.
Wait,
Yeah.
without
wait a
even
minute.
realizing it.
Shouldn't he
Elvish
be,
lands. You need more labor. We'll open your borders for the
Right.
for the
As if
dispossessed
the
orcs.
privilege of our wealth was something that was just something given and would always go on without ever ending. No, come on, and even more tables more people sit at the table here.
And
It's not-
Sauron would look just like an elf in this story.
This is interesting.
But he would have a bigger nose.
I think we just discovered something, right?
We did.
Right. So Tolkien wanted to be the exact opposite of an allegory, and Amazon wants actually to be the allegory. They're actually telling what we're seeing every day and what their plan is, because they are part of the of the performing agenda. And this is the entertainment that they serve us then, which is of course then for us a reason to laugh and to cry at the same time, because then what else can you do but
you saw the main actress involved in this, Coach, in a chance encounter, and she didn't look well. She didn't look happy. She didn't look relaxed. She's turning into Gollum.
Which one?
The Welsh one.
Morphit. Oh, Morphit. Sorry, that's how she says it.
Morphit.
Yeah, no, Morphit Clark looks like
Morph.
looks very. No, she looks very stressed out. Like I feel. Let me put it this way. I feel like at the beginning I may have. Because I guess like all of us, we were like in our rage moment because of the audacity, the heresy being thrown at us. But I feel like at this point, because I think you said you met her, you saw her by chance in a restaurant, right?
Yeah,
So-
I did just say that.
But
Dragon.
Yeah.
you know, Mephisto, the thing is, there's allegory that we project, that
Yeah.
we see,
And then
and
there's
that
ones
is
that, yeah.
right. Then the one that is
Yeah.
that is
It-
clearly
it's-
intended.
Yeah, he can't, like, the author, no matter how good of an author you are, you will never be able to
course.
stop your fan base from finding allegorical connections to whatever you say, right? Even if that was not your intention, right?
Right.
And do consider the fact that Tolkien was opposed to every single adaptation of his work,
He was.
especially when the Beatles tried to make a Lord of the Rings film.
I think also it's important to kind of note one thing before Dragon Slayer goes on. When you go to a writing school, or you take a writing seminar, or you attend a famous writing workshop, you know, usually you get slammed with the hero's journey, the want, the conflict, your log lines, your synopsis. You start kind of technically creating the script, right? So if you think of Tolkien, when he had Lord of the Rings in mind, he didn't immediately start to type a story, to write a log line, to create a synopsis, to craft any type of character one conflict system so he could understand the hero's journey of one of his protagonists. No, sir. He approached first the world that inhabits, you know, all these different creatures, the world that kind of engulfs and encompasses all these stories. So he created maps, and he drew maps first. And according to
And
these
the language,
maps,
too.
and according to these maps, he started creating the language, because he figured out, hey, people who would live, you know, by the stone or in mountains, they would speak in a certain way. They would have a different way. So the way of approaching writing for Tolkien is a completely different approach than all these people today and their fucking delusional projections that they think something could be, you know, defined racial or anything like that. Because Tolkien wasn't approaching like any story teller would approach, like any screenplay writer would approach a story. He started with really constructing the planet first, and then he placed the population on top and let them interact with each other. That's what's so genius and unique about this type of work. And that's why allegories, I can understand why Tolkien hated them so much, because it ruins his conceptual art, the framework for the existence of all these different beings with all their different conflicts.
Yeah.
It's very strange, gentlemen, because when I have my mic volume, oh wait, I just checked. My mic volume is only at 43%. I better put it up back to 100. There we go. I'll be able to hear you guys normally now instead of jacking up my systems. Oh dear. Oh,
Yeah.
Dragon, you speak.
Sure.
Dragon, go ahead.
No, I feel like with
Morphet?
the actresses like Morphet Clark, I am starting to see that maybe this one did not realize what she was getting into. Like, bless you.
Yes. Like us
Sorry
when
about
we're
that.
inviting Ryan over to talk about Rings of Power.
Yeah, but I feel like in her case, like at first I thought she was all in on this, but now that I think about it, she is not all in on this at all. Especially if you look at the interviews of the second season, she is just
You got
she's
an
literally
interview there?
putting up an act.
Do you have a link for an interview, or something you should?
That interview I do, but just know that like they will fuck. Well, I mean they'll copyright your ass immediately.
Yes.
But it is I do have it. Yes. Would you like me to send it?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
He looks a bit like Dennis Quaid.
Who? Yeah, he does remind me of Dennis Quaid. Let me find it.
He looks
for
like
you.
a deformed elf.
Like this turn.
I mean, that's
of-
that's I think that's the.
It's really I don't know what they're doing with this money that they have. Like how can
I
you...
don't think they're aware of it either.
I
bro.
made the joke of it's either going to Ukraine or Israel.
Right. Look
Yeah, no, for real. Let me see. Variety. I gotta look for it. It's been a while since I've had it saved.
Don't worry. What type of armor is this?
So
Why
I think
does
what
he
they're
have-
trying. So what I
Yeah.
think what they're trying to allude to here with the orc armor is that some of them may have like
man.
survived the war of Balerion, and so
I see.
had like their scavenged
But then
armor.
it should be a bit more scavenged and a bit more rotten. I mean, look at this. This is
Or
like
maybe
put on.
actually, you know what I think it should have been? I think it could have done this so well if they had just started like designing the
No, I
armor
get what
for
you're
the
saying. It
orcs
could
to
be,
look
yeah.
like
Right.
more Like, fine, if you want to give the average orc soldier this kind of armor, so be it. But I feel like for like the more like named orcs, they should have given them, I don't know, some unique armor. Like maybe they don't need new weapons and armor because their scavenged armor is like armor that they stole from an elf that they killed in the first day.
Yeah, but then it needs to look casually and randomly collected. It's like different
like
elements.
all
It
black
all
or
looks
something,
matched. Yeah, it's just,
yeah. But but also, yeah, it looks very disorganized. But I know orcs are very disorganized. But at the same time, if you look at the original trilogy,
this looks like a
orcs-
Star Trek episode. I kid you not. It's like
No,
could
that
be
actually
Jean-Luc.
that looks like fucking Skyrim. That looks like
does
Whiterun.
look like a Skyrim courtyard
Yeah.
in Whiterun.
Of course.
Yeah, Coach, just look up the Skyrim courtyard in the Whiterun courtyard from Skyrim.
Look how peaceful it is. Look how not multicultural it is. There are no orcs. Just lovely elf girls walking around. And there's go back a little bit, Coach, so to where we can see Sauron. Just this very, very no, that's not Sauron. Pause. And you got this big-nosed bastard who wants to open the borders and let the orcs in. Instead of forging the rings so he can control them all, he just encourages them. Open the borders, be diverse, welcome them all. And when they do, they destroy it from within, and he takes over, just like the big-nosed fucking chameleon that he is.
Thank you. Well said, sir.
What have you done to me?
Okay. I just
so the Celebrimbor.
yeah.
So
Go ahead.
Celebrimbor, here's my thing, right?
The set looks horrible. It looks it looks like it was
set or
designed from 3 different sets. That
He looks like he's going to turn into a ghost and then be part of 2 okay
horrible.
games that will never return.
Looks like a cafe from the 1920s. It doesn't look elfish at all.
No, it does. Yeah, you're right. I would think, like, especially since he's in a tower that's exclusive for him, I would expect like maybe it would shine more light, and the forge fire in the very back will fill out the remainder of the lighting. With elven architecture, at least with the original trilogy, but also Tolkien in general, it seemed elves and their architecture was very connected to the nature around them. So like they designed
every
their build
every time,
they
yes,
designed their
always
cities.
integrated.
Yeah,
everything.
they integrated it into the nature itself so that they would never alter it. Instead, the buildings would look like they were just part of the forest itself, right, or of the mountain range that they were inhabiting. Correct.
Yes.
And so, but here the buildings look more like
Detached.
how I would see it.
Yeah.
Like how I would see a Numenorian city to be built. And while I understand these are elf smiths, maybe you can allude to the fact, okay, yeah, maybe it's not as good. But I played Lord of the Rings Online a long time ago, and when you go to the zone of Eregion, there is you can actually walk around the different ruins of like multiple named cities, and you can see like the elven architecture is quite consistent, even when they were adapting it into a MMO, right? Which in the sense that they do this architecture, yeah, these are elf smiths. They're going to focus more on making stone buildings, but these stone buildings are maybe going to meld more with the background of the mountain. They might be a little more white, but they're going to be nice. They're going to be slender, but yet stable, right? And strong. They're not, but they're going to blend into the environment. So this does not look like it blends into the environment.
So we have these Greco-Roman Minoan wave elements down here, right? That we have from the Mediterranean. Then we have, I don't know what that is. This is some sort of covering of the. Then we have this wooden clunky, chunky box. Then we have gears in the back, mechanical gears. And they don't look elfish at all. And then we have some Irish pseudo ornamentation here in the back. This is all botched together. It looks horrible.
It looks like a guy.
Nothing fits.
Yeah.
It looks like a guy who's got a ring of fucking power on and is being corrupted by Sauron.
Done to me!
But
Done to me. Look at this.
But Celebrimbor, oh my god! So but
You're mine, little one.
yeah, but Celebrimbor has absolutely. Celebrimbor never wore a ring of power, so like and also his corruption.
Maybe he does in this.
No, Ryan, shut up. No, shut up, Ryan. Don't make it worse. Don't make it worse than it already is.
Wait, which movie? Which movie was overall enjoyable?
What do you mean the Daggerfall?
Daggerfall.
Where are the drow elves in this? Mephisto, shut up. It's not Dungeons and Dragons.
No, I don't.
Think about it though. If he's complaining about, what have you done to me? I mean, they both forged the 3 elven rings.
They're all
together.
doing these minuscule facial movements. Always. Wait.
This? Explain this to. Oh, by the way, Coach, before you explain it, I did put the Variety interview in the private chat, but please explain to me from your actor's perspective, because I think this got you very, very riled up. Please explain this to us ignorant bastards.
So, in acting, right, when we are having our close-ups, when we react, we want to make sure. I mean, it's really difficult, of course, to be always steady in the shot. Don't shake around with your head, but at the same time, not to become stiff and too kind of severe. So definitely, you have 44 facial muscles. 44 is like pretty high number. They all interact with each other, and so when you have your close up, you see that these minuscule movements, these little, this is.
He was trying to figure
and I saw Moffat Clark doing this also in the first season, and that's
the writing, bro. I'll tell you. Let me tell you what this is.
Acting, but the actor should say no to stuff like this.
But they don't have But Coach, again, these actors were hired because they have absolutely no pool game to tell these directors and studios.
This is not acting. It's just a muscle movement. It's like,
but you know why he did it?
He's taking a shit.
Right. This is all.
No. But let me tell you why he does that.
And so's he as well. Yeah. And him. They're having a shit.
No, please.
No. I wanted to say oh, by the way, the one they were talking about earlier was the last Dungeons and Dragons movie. They gave it a 6 out of 10. But anyway, back to this show.
6 out of 10?
I think that was Dempsey. He said the shots were gorgeous, sets were well done, the costumes were good, and the score was really decent. But he said that the mechanics were mostly intact. So maybe, or are you talking about whatever. Anyway, Dempsey, clarify.
These nuts. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. One of the things that I feel like, it was a D&D movie. Okay. Yeah, that's true. The mechanic, the story was a little bit meh.
Yeah.
But it feels like anyway. So with this with the acting itself, what I noticed is, because you went off on the facial muscles and then that gave me an epiphany, right? And that is, wait a minute. Maybe they're doing that because they told them behind the set, their script says, he's acting like this because of this realization or whatever. And maybe Charlie Vickers, who's the guy that plays Sauron here, maybe he knew how Sauron's supposed to act, but because he read the books, because he and Robert Arameo did read the books. They've said it many times, they did read them. And he probably was trying to emulate book Anatar more, but because of how the show works, they probably did not like him doing that, and they still wanted him to give off more of an emotional reaction. Like, if you want, let me find this cutscene on YouTube from Shadow of War.
But that's not an emotion. You just
I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so Shadow of War, Sauron, Celebrimbor.
Oh, come on, Coach. I'm dragging now. Come on, Coach. Give me 5 to 10 minutes more airtime so I can cause people to run away from the fucking show.
What do you mean? I'm not causing anybody to run away. There's more people coming
When
in.
someone asks you a question, can you please answer in under a minute without bringing anything up?
I could, but here's the thing: people would run away because they're like, "What?
Oh no,
Dragon
exactly.
didn't
Something
take-
is wrong.
Dragon didn't
No.
take 5+ minutes to answer
sick.
a question and led into a comedic tangent.
No
We
one,
asked the questions.
no one in Amazon's Rings of Power can act. We know.
Well,
Look
there's
at
some that
this.
can act, but they just
You know,
they got a
I-
shitty
you
script.
know.
But most of
We
them can
know
act.
why they can't act because
Exactly.
it's not diverse enough. There aren't enough black women in
Yeah,
it.
the script is not diverse enough
It's
and
not
good writing.
inclusive enough. It doesn't have the suitable equity to ensure a successful project.
Oh, by the
It's-
way, can I show this real quick before we go into this? Because this will give you some
ahead.
idea of Sauron himself, right? Like this is Sauron described in the books. Obviously, Shadow of War took their own little fan fiction liberties, which they claim that this was not supposed to be canon. This is just like a little power fantasy game they wanted to make for the longest time. So because of that, fans love the game even more.
Too bad they don't let that chick look like this in the new show. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
They uglify beauty throughout all these shows.
They
I mean,
do.
if you look at the Acolyte, I mean, this girl doesn't privately. I mean, in real life, she's attractive, but I mean,
She
they
has
managed
no
to.
tits and no ass. I don't know what you're
Yeah,
talking
not
about.
my type,
Coach.
but yes, you're right. She
No,
is.
yeah,
But let me
she's-
show you this, right? This is just a one out of many cutscenes in Shadow of War, basically showing flashbacks of the
Right.
interactions of Celebrimbor and Sauron as Anatar back in the Second Age before Sauron, obviously, destroyed the city. Look at the design of the city. This is the Celebrimbor people wanted to see.
This is pretty good.
And this is a fanfiction game. And this is
This
him in
is
his-
pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. When I saw this, I was so impressed. And especially the introduction of Sauron here.
It is so fine a gift.
Perfect. Again, these are flashback cutscenes.
Yeah.
The best part is
I'm blown away. I'm blown away. This is really good.
this is what we would have wanted out of this
yeah,
goddamn show.
yeah. This is pretty close. Also
Them
to
interacting closely,
right,
their
yeah.
faces
This
in
is
tune
it.
with the work,
Yes.
and
The
him
rhythm,
closely analyzing
the grace is there, the danger is there. Yes.
Yeah.
They look magical.
And then he's
Could
amazed.
accomplish such art, Celebrimbor.
See? Like,
Pause it a second.
sure.
This
Yeah.
is really close. This is really good, right?
I
This
know.
is the feeling. This is the
Yes.
vibration of Tolkien, right? You can feel the power, the epic scale, the mythology behind it,
Yes.
and the magic. Absolutely. This
Yeah.
is good.
And again, this is again, the developers, the Snowblind made it very clear. The Snowblind, right? Please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember off the top of the. But the point I'm trying to get here, right, is the developers made it very clear. We just wanted to make Batman Arkham Knight power fantasy in Middle Earth, and and we just wanted to have some fun. But even then, they made sure to be as loyal in
No.
their fan fiction, which is insane.
Sure, it wasn't Rocksteady.
No, it wasn't
Dragon?
Rocksteady.
You
Definitely
know,
not
when I
Rocksteady.
knew that the world was taking a bad turn when George Lucas announced that he wants to kind of continue his legacy, right? That he wanted to shoot a trilogy, and he was actively not using Timothy Zahn's work. I knew something was wrong with Hollywood. there was such an obvious chasm between, like the will of doing a Star Wars movie that would fulfill everybody's dreams. Like everybody's dreams, just adapt the canon that is there. Timothy Zahn wrote those books that were immaculate, that were the perfect continuation for the storyline, and yet he chose to ignore it, and he set, this whole movie on fire with this puppet so he can sell billions of dollars of toys and ruin a storyline that could have, and another 3 incredible movies could have been born out of that.
Ironically,
I knew from that point on, Hollywood was fucked because that was such an obvious mistake.
Well, ironically, Dragon Slayer, the developers of Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, and Shadow of War were called Monolith, and that Monolith, while still part of Warner Brothers Games, has completely collapsed in on itself as they haven't made anything since 2017.
I think that's when Shadow of War came out. Am I correct?
Exactly. That was their final project. They're still around as part of
they're
Warner
skeleton
Brothers.
crew mode. Yeah. They're maintenance mode. Yeah, but
now that's a Star Wars show coming up.
Oh God, I hope they really give. It'd be awesome if they just gave Monolith a good budget and just told them, hey, make a single player, make another single player Middle Earth game, but don't make it a fan fiction this time. Just adapt a story in the Third Age, whichever one you want. Make it a nice little open world game, and I can already give you a perfect backdrop.
And you'll get a Lord of the Rings version of Star Wars Outlaws.
I do not want them to do
that. Instead of being a brown Gupta with a red dot, folks, I'm a white Gupta with a blue dot.
Oh my God! But
instead of this, what we just saw, we get this.
In a certain way.
He does.
We're the cast of The Lord of the Rings.
Jesus.
Instead of what we just saw, we get this, ladies and gentlemen.
Because
how is this happening in the same universe? I can't understand how this is possible. How is this happening in the same universe?
One boob is bigger than her fucking head.
Look at this. You could like Lord of the Rings.
Jesus. Dude, by the way, can you just hop back on my screen real quick? I'll show you one last bit of them just talking around, right? But again, it's just so cool. This is the book Celebrimbor.
Put on the cock ring, Celebrimbor. Put on the cock ring of power.
Look at this. He's just crafting. And the Sauron design too is perfect.
Yes. Well, it's not perfect, but it's really good. I mean,
but this is when they realize
really convincing.
Like
that's the point of making these epic. Look at her. Yes, this is Galadriel. Ah, yes.
And then this is like a. Yeah. Again.
Go, mighty Sand Legion. Defeat the Europeans.
The orcs look more threatening here.
We will wipe out the Aryan people and secure the Sandland.
Wow.
Yes,
yes.
This is what I would have imagined back then.
This is pretty good.
Like Sauron coming himself personally to deal with the asshole who basically beat him in his game.
Yes, exactly.
And the ring glowing is actually a pretty nice touch. His hand's not on fire.
Right.
No, I was saying that because so in the books they describe that his ring hand is actually like more on fire. Like it's
again,
like
instead
lava.
of this,
But
we
it's
have
good.
this.
Like I said,
the comparison is.
Yeah, no. Like I said, no. Like that's it. Oh yeah, let's just watch the rest.
Take him to Mordor.
Now this part never happened. Like this part never happened. This is the fan fiction part, but it still would make sense in some way or another because of how cool it is. This is like Sauron trying to get him to give in,
Right.
and he's pretending to be under his sway, you know?
Right. That's nice. That's a nice touch. I like that.
Yeah, so in the game, they make it sound like they make it to where like Celebrimbor fucks something up and steals Sauron's ring from him and causes havoc, but then Sauron gets his ring back from Celebrimbor and basically brutally kills him, right? But again, that part never, the part of him being a Mordor and stuff, that never happened. But what I'm trying to say here is
fan fiction, take him to Jerusalem.
Yes. Not Jerusalem.
And crucify him.
Let's go all back to Jerusalem.
I basically see it, folks. I see it as a high fantasy version of the Crusades.
King Selassie. Jerusalem. King Selassie.
Okay, Coach. Let go of the tiny hat energy. Oh, we're gonna.
And Sauron is leading the Sand People
Do you mean
to destroy the perfect people.
It's amazing how we transition from this to this is terrifying. It's petrifying my soul.
But Coach, do you see what I mean? Like just the cutscene of Celebrimbor cutting down all these orcs
so
and him
fucking
crafting.
awesome. That's so fucking awesome.
Why?
Tolkien. Are you aware of Tolkien Untangled, the YouTube channel?
I think I am aware of it.
Yeah, he's amazing. He does amazing work.
Yeah.
And I just listen to his stuff before going to sleep because it's perfect. Like all the explanations of these characters and what Tolkien intended them, to be, what they stand for.
Yeah.
It's so, potentially Tolkien's work, it's like Prince's famous music vault, right? Prince has a vault in his basement, in his in his estate in Parsley Park. You could release a Prince album for the next 100 years every year, like a new album. He has so much material, like you could fill up a century of new Prince songs, and the same thing is true for. And this is true for Tolkien. You could fill up movie like archives just with the side stories of his work, right? The ramifications, if you interpret this truthfully. So to me, it is amazing that with all this money, of course, we know why, we know the agenda, we know what's going on, bada boom, bada bam, but still, it's truly amazing. This will be like a parody. In 30 years from now, people will look back at this and think, wow, that's like a parody. Is this satire?
I'm sorry to say, Coach, but I think people will look back at Rings of Power in 30 years and call it a masterpiece.
Yeah,
why?
Yeah.
because standards will have gone through the
even
floor
lower.
In the 2050s.
Who knows? Let's hope not. Let's see
We are
what they
here to
get
tell
to
you
do.
all the details of season 1 to start watching season 2.
Right, off you go. She's going to recap.
This fucking outfit. No, pause. This fucking outfit on the right for Elendil's actor. Who the fuck told him this would look good? He looks like You know what he looks like? He looks like the Middle Earth gigolo.
He looks
like a wallpaper. It looks like a wallpaper.
Yeah,
it's like you outfit your house with this.
He looks like a
my
Middle Earth
mobile
gigolo.
phone looks better as a suit.
Is
than
this a
that
mobile phone?
bush. Yes, it's a Nokia.
Good, like old school Nokia.
It looks like a
Jesus. What the? Oh.
It looks like a tiny. I thought this is a Welsh vibrator or something.
It won't focus for some reason.
Not a Welsh
I think it's a
vibrator.
Nokia 1300.
Why are they wearing this? So this is the theme now, right?
Yeah. So basically,
looks a
their
bit
suits,
creepy.
like their clothes, they were designed to have like the theme, a mix of modern and Middle Earth themes related to their characters and their characters' origins. Obviously they're wearing white because there's a Númenórean royalty or descended from that royal bloodline, and
none of them were black.
Exactly, or Hispanic looking, but they were sea people, Mediterranean kind of style, so it's okay. I don't mind, if that's what they want to go for, but yeah, definitely they were
as a marketing gag, sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
with the Númenóreans, let's put it this way. in general,
But, you know,
when most of them they were considered to be like very multicultural, but like multicultural in the sense of like the Mediterranean
Guys.
cultures, you know?
Exactly. They're the
So-
perfect representation of the the Minoan culture, I think, right? It's like, I think that's this high intellectual amplitude. They're but also bound by this old spell, right? That they want this immortal life, that they want to claim this for themselves as well. So they're exactly like in the in the Greco-Roman area, that was always the twist, right? Having these almost celestial powers, but being also bound to earth and to the matter, and still looking out for these, for these high ideals to live nonetheless, and of course it will over time corrupt you and consume you, and the passage of time will, deprecate you and all that. And that's also the beauty of Tolkien's story. They still, all these characters, they still have inside of themselves, I feel like, a certain a decency, like they have a certain epicness that over here, if you look at this picture, it all looks so small and so generic and so well decorated, but I don't see any of that essence that actually Tolkien represents.
I mean,
Let's see what they have
what causes corruption in Tolkien's world? Apparently sunburn.
Yes. So multicultural in the same way that the Romans conquered an area and Romanized the inhabitants before working to breed them out. Yeah. Sure, they were also changing, we discussed this also, Three Sages. They were changing the lore, right? They were just kind of replacing the old folklore saints with Roman names. They were rebranding them, repurposing them, and so this is how then they infiltrated their belief system and established authority. And it was a pretty genius move. The Romans did a good job. I mean,
yeah, but then the Romans opened their borders to barbars, and then their empire collapsed.
Don't forget, barbars is just a translation of people that are north of the Alps. It translates just people outside of our territory. They were calling them Vandals and barbars to kind of belittle them, but that said actually nothing about the evolution of their culture.
Yeah,
That's
they were
like
just
taking on the
non-Roman.
insult faggot and then becoming the faggot kingdom in a few centuries.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Right now.
Warning, there will be spoilers.
This is previously
I
on
don't care.
The Rings of Power.
Like anyone would
Why-
care.
Can we just skip? Let's just skip to like 8 minutes. Skip
Why
to
is
8
it-
minutes, bro.
Why is it called the Rings of Power? Why isn't it?
No,
Just
don't you
called
want to hear what they
Rings
have
of
to
Power?
say? What their
I
interpretation of the
already tortured
Numenorians?
Ryan on the first half, though. That's the problem. I don't want to traumatize him
Recipes.
any further.
He's lost
Recipes
cause
that are
anyway.
more
His soul is.
Rise again.
She says there's a dark force coming towards the Southland. She feels that
She says
That-
she
yeah.
feels.
That's my
Evil is
story, you
rising again,
bastard.
and we need to
Hail
go
to
and
the
save
Southland is my story. You can't.
Like he's trying to make a story.
My
and
country
save-
has literally been invaded by
People in the
fucking
South.
migrants.
Fight with me,
Fight,
essentially.
yeah, fight, yeah, fight, yeah. That's it. The story's
Fight.
about fight. Yeah. Fight with me. Yeah.
Fight by my side. Bring your Numenorian
Bring your
armies.
Numenorian army.
Bring
And
your
let us,
Numenorians and tell them to fight. We must fight.
Insecurity.
Even
I
if we
don't
have
have
no
the
idea.
slightest clue what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah, fight.
do not
and
know what I'm
I
doing.
do
No, I'm
not know
not.
what I'm doing. I've never
No,
read
I do
Tolkien.
not.
When did Kamala Harris
Stamp
become
out evil
president
together.
Of Numenor?
and we say no way. Well, I don't say
Yeah.
no way. She says no way.
I have no words for
And
what
I-
he said. It's true. She does remind me of. She
Do what
does
I'm
look
told.
like Kamala
We do-
Harris, Numenor version. Wait, what?
This makes no sense.
Wait, go back. What did he say? I've forgotten.
This
this
actually
movie.
makes no sense at all.
What did he say?
Dude, this is golden, man. You want to miss out on something like this now. Listen what he has to say. It's beautiful.
Dark force coming towards the Southland. She feels that
Dark force coming towards the Southland. She feels that
evil is rising again, and we need to go and save the people of the
come
Southland.
fight.
come fight.
Fight
again.
with me, essentially. Fight
Yeah.
by my side. Bring your
He was rising
Numenorian
again.
armies.
Fight with me.
and let
Bring
us,
the Numenorian armies.
yeah,
Now
stamp
it's
out
now
evil
it's
together.
now it's
And
really
we
golden.
say no way. Well, I don't say no way. She says no way, and I do what I'm told.
How does he know more about her character than she does?
This is good.
That's the best
Thank
part.
you. Wow. No, you really
mean,
whoa.
Yeah,
Isn't that
Dark
just
Force.
mansplaining, though? Isn't that just mansplaining, though? Isn't
Yeah,
that
he
bad?
did mansplain.
What
which is
this?
A Dark
Spicy
Force.
meatball.
A spicy meatball. We are going to talk about this the entire time. Yes, let's just talk like this. You know what? I don't even take this interview seriously. I will just talk like this the entire interview.
What
it is
is
stupid.
this?
Do decide that she needs to leave the island, and we send her on a ship.
Uh-huh.
No, you don't. You
This
send
looks
her on
No,
a
you
boat.
don't.
No.
A boat.
This is the ship.
But just at
The
that
mighty
moment,
ship.
the wind blows.
Uh-huh.
No
the
shit,
wind
the wind blows.
Come on. Hey,
The
come on.
sea
Not
is
bad.
always
The-
right.
Always right.
And the leaves come off. nimble.
And the leaves come off. Come on, man.
No, you
What?
don't
The
say.
wind blows and the leaf. They always comment what has already been shown. In these new shows, they double the It's like they
give
they
a
explain it
synopsis.
again, right? No.
I
Don't-
think,
like,
if
don't
I'm not
even-
The
mistaken.
white tree.
There's the one. We just saw the white
The
tree.
White tree of Nimloth.
It's a sign.
No, the black
It's a sign.
tree. The black tree of BLM. Fuck it. Who gives a shit?
What the?
The
what
white
odd-
the white
Nah,
tree was triggered
seriously,
by the
guys.
fact
Looking up.
Seriously, what is this?
the white tree
Yes.
was triggered by a black president.
It's okay, Sonia. Yeah. What?
Incredible.
That's the most fucked up thing. Also, because Tar Miriel
is always right.
Tar Miriel is described as like this extreme.
the following broadcast for a very important public service announcement.
Oh God.
The
Okay.
white tree is always right.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Don't listen to the crazy black lady. Anyway.
She looks uncomfortable, and
As-
he looks
yeah.
like he's compensating for
No,
something.
no, he is no. What he's
White trees matter is beautiful.
white tree lives matter. Hey, look, here's what happened. So she's absolutely lost, and very.
She has
very,
no idea what she's talking about.
She is
Look at her.
she looks literally stressed out, and then this guy over here
Is
is like motherfucker,
trying to formulate anything,
No,
an
no, no.
intelligent thought,
No, I'll
anything
tell
that
you.
makes sense.
I'll tell you why, okay? You see what happened is this guy, he's like, okay, they're going to give me weird suit, and I will just sit here and talk about the interview. But whoever this was an asshole or super gay because these goddamn pants
Maybe
are
both.
literally
An
taking
asshole
away-
super gay.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, the pants here, they're like cutting off circulation to the lower regions, and they're fucking up his brain signals.
This
and
is
so he can't
crazy.
speak properly.
This is crazy. This is crazy. Like the amount of money spent to shoot this vacuum, this space where there is no content.
You don't keep Italians quiet.
You must, you have to go out of your way to produce such nonsense. It's not easy.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I mean this seriously. I mean, you invest money in this, and they are still not able to tell what the story is about. What Lord of the Rings is about, what the character, nothing. Yeah, she
And
sees
we know.
evil, and then there is a tree. The wind blows, the leaves fall, and the tree is white.
And we know how difficult it is to be creative because we try to be
It's a sign.
creative talking about a show that isn't
That
creative.
isn't creative at
Yeah,
all.
at all.
Right. I think we are more creative because we even extract something out of this.
We
Look,
cannot
look,
let
folks,
Galadriel
look
go.
how
We need to
creative I
follow
can be
her
with a
path.
Things are pretty
simple
bad in the Southlands.
change.
Orcs have kind of taken over, and the
Oh, the
orcs
paid
are
migrants.
abusing.
That's the orcs. sort
The
of,
white orc migrants. Oh yeah, what?
taken over.
What's
What
funny?
is
Let's
I can change my
What is
character.
this?
I can pull off
Oh my
a
God.
Sauron
Why
change.
is he dressed like
Look,
this?
because he's Smith, so he needs
Look,
he needs to
is
look
he-
like.
I'm
I
now a
don't
different
know.
character. I've combed my hair to the right. I am
Seriously.
now no longer Halbrand. I am Sauron because I
You
have
remember
changed my
Dragon,
hair.
the 60s and 70s Batman kind of TV series? He looks a bit like a character, like an evil character out of that
He
series.
could pull off
with Adam
yeah.
West and yeah.
White working class orcs. Yeah, you know what's crazy? The white working. Let me. I forgot. You guys don't remember this because it's been so long. It's on my video on episode 2.
Have an awesome stream.
Thank you,
Problematic white guy,
White
John.
guy, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, but dude, let me tell you on
My white
episode
brother
3.
in the chat.
Always
My
say
white
Travis
brother.
ahead. Thank you for stopping by.
Thanks so much for your support, brother. Appreciate
And
it.
always and everywhere, smash the like
the
button
like
for this
button.
incredible value proposition even tonight.
You better smash that button, or I might smash you. Anyway,
Ooh.
Gay.
Oh, that was slightly gay.
no, not to you. Fuck all of you. Anyway,
Dragon Slayer likes it up the ass.
Bum bum.
Dragon Slayer likes it up the ass.
fuck you.
You
Oh,
like the
Dragon
dragon,
Slayer,
and you like to
Dragon
slay.
No, that was
Slayer,
for so. That
like
was for
that
so
better
many.
like it up the
That was for so.
Dum. Thank you.
Oh, fuck all of you. Anyway, dude, yeah. So the crazy part is with Morphic Clark, I actually could imagine her being able to, if she had a good script, because it looks like she seems to be the hardworking type. She probably could have pulled off a good Galadriel if Galadriel's version of Amazon wasn't a complete utter piece of shit.
I don't know Galadriel. I don't know Galadriel because the thing is,
like it does take like
look at her. She's not. I don't know.
You know what I think? No, actually, I'll tell you what. She probably should not have been cast as Galadriel. You're right. Actually, I know
not as her.
No, I know
You know what I
who
mean?
she could have been cast as. You know what she could have been cast as? She would have been perfect for it, right? If done properly.
Who?
She would have been. She should have been cast as Celebrian. You know, Elrond's wife. Elrond's wife,
yes.
who is Galadriel and Celeborn's daughter. Who, by the way, poor motherfucker of Elrond.
That's not a bad idea at all. You're right.
Somebody, showrunners, please help your homeboy Elrond out, because this motherfucker needs to smash some cheeks, or otherwise Aragorn's not going to get his cheeks to smash.
Bum bum.
Confusing and frightening. Sorry, just got a bit dazzled. Me.
I don't
Dazzled?
know. I
What
don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's just I don't know. It feels cringe. It feels
How many
like
cocks did this actress have
Bad in the
to suck to
Southlands.
get this role?
Orcs have kind of
orcs
taken
have kind
over,
of
and
taken
the
over.
orcs are
And the orcs
abusing
are
and
abusing, and it feels all so generic and so full of
Forced,
It feels like
yeah.
forced and platitudes. I feel sorry
Look
for
at the
these
guy on
for
the
these
left.
colleagues. I don't know. It's just
look at the
I don't
guy
know,
on
feel
the
sorry
left.
for them because they don't
Look-
feel. I mean, they
look
earn
how
a lot.
he's-
The check is definitely big, but
Look at the guy on the left. Look how he's like, God damn, I gotta go through all this. Damn.
Yes,
God
that's what
damn.
I'm saying. It's fucking help. It's actor for
thank you for stopping by, Donovan 114.
Yeah, have a good
I
one.
don't
more
have
for
a, I don't have a red nose, but I have a black one.
Let me see.
Oh, would you look at him?
Ooh,
Well, hello.
You
Well,
got a
hello.
black
He's
nose.
got a black nose.
Look at him. He got a black nose.
Oh, it's a very good black nose.
Oh, he got a black nose. Oh,
Very good
He must
black
be
nose.
French.
See, look,
Only the French
I
have
have
the
a
black nose.
black microphone, and I treat it so well that I give it a nice
Whatever.
little black hat.
Gay.
Super gay. Thank you. But not gayer than this.
True.
Season 1.
Where are we?
We're in Middle Earth,
Back to the
Tolkien's Middle
beginning.
Earth, in the Second Age.
The,
No,
Lord
no,
of the Rings
no,
books and
let's go
movies
to
are
our
in the
favorite
third
ones.
age.
Called Kazan.
Let's go to the favorite one because they are really hilarious. They're really
Fucking hell, this looks way better than Rings
Khazad-dûm,
of Power.
dwarven kingdom that's inside a mountain. Inside Khazad-dûm,
Inside Khazad-dûm, we got a bunch of rocks, and I
Why am
also
I
like
making that as like
to give the
inside?
meat and give it to me. You're
you
wrong.
inside of you.
Did you
What?
guys watch Prometheus and how the deacon turned
Yes.
into a fucking mountain?
I mean, I'm
Did that-
sorry. Why is
does
he?
that-
Why is he? It's
does
just
that
like
woman-
inside? He's like
does that-
obviously.
Does that woman turn into Khazad-dûm? Is that what happens?
Yeah.
Does this black woman turn into a mountain?
No,
Look,
it
He's
works.
slightly afraid.
No. The
We have-
Balrog. Well,
Prince Durin, and
Prince
Princess
Durin.
Disa.
Princess
We also
Disa.
have a King Durin.
But also
as
have
well,
a king
who's-
named
who's
Durin the
ring-
Third.
That shouldn't be there. That
That should
shouldn't
not
be
be
there.
alive.
Also, this is the first time we see speaking.
Also, this is the
Also,
first
this
time
is
we
the first
see
time we finally talk
speaking.
about speaking to the
all
stone.
these actors. Again, it's all platitudes. It's all flat. There's nothing behind their eyes.
This is
thought
the
Lizzo
beginning of
was
the interview.
losing-
This is where you should be the most energetic, the most excited, right? Where you should talk about
I
the
thought
story.
Lizzo was losing
Look at this.
weight.
It's like they're all kind of retracting from that because they're afraid. Because of course they're like Kamala Harris. They have nothing to talk about except
They're not
socialism.
allowed to act, Coach. You know this. They're not allowed to act.
It's incredible. It's
Not like
hilarious.
themselves in an
This is
interview.
an interview that costed thousands of dollars. Look what they're doing. They're just
millions.
and they just deflecting and just bland, flat, shallow.
The costumes they're wearing
A
in
female
this
dwarf.
interview look better than the costumes in the show.
And this is portrayed by the beautiful Sophia Nombete.
Yes.
I forgot your name.
So yeah. Can you pause? Oh yeah, thank you for pausing. Look at the chapter title. Look at the chapter title. They didn't even spell dwarves correctly. They forgot a V. Dars indeed.
A multi-billion-dollar project, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God!
Right.
I am ashamed for them.
Entertainment Weekly does not give a fuck.
Can
and
we
hi,
wrap
Moxie.
this up
Durin
before
as well.
we die?
Oh,
Also,
man.
this is the first time we see speaking a female dwarf.
Yeah.
And this is, yeah.
What are you
And-
talking about? What the fuck is that?
This
supposed
is
to
Lord
mean?
of the Rings. You are betraying Mr.
And
Prophet.
for my next exhibit, I will be talking about dwarven women speaking
Lizzo.
to the
Say
stone.
a strange. You know, time is a really big factor. There's a
Time. Oh, time.
Time.
Oh.
Like my meat,
Oh.
I like it raw.
Don't say so. You have a story where
thought
time
time
is
was
an important
racist.
factor?
Time is
Incredible.
racist.
No,
Time
this
is
is...
racist.
Time. Oh my god.
Hey, Moxie Dame.
Hey, Moxie.
Yes. What's
Nice
up?
to
To
see
be
you. You
on-
came at the best time, Moxie.
Oh, wait,
absolutely.
wait.
When
Words
we're
the show is
finally
over
touching.
now.
Touch it without
When we're finally touching each other, this is when Moxie comes in.
Whoa. Yeah,
Yeah,
of course, Sonia. Just
We
starts laughing.
love our women on this show.
Much better than Rings of Powers women, anyway.
big difference between elven time and dwarven time.
There's a big
Well,
difference.
there's actually no
Racist.
difference.
They're both racist.
Let's talk about the difference.
Let's
What
talk
is
about
this?
the difference in time when it comes to Middle Earth, which actually is the same timeline.
like a bad
the only
dream.
thing is, I
It's like
just
a bad
lived
dream, I
250
swear. This
years.
is, what is this stuff? I mean, are we mad? Are we like insane of noticing
Yeah,
this? Are
we
we the
are,
only
we
one?
are.
No,
Noticing is a crime. Noticing anything is a crime. And noticing people with gigantic things is a crime.
It is.
Well, the gigantic things, sometimes you can't avoid looking at them. But anyway, that's not the point here. But
20 years have passed since Elrond and Durin last saw each
time.
other. And in
Again,
that time...
And in that time, again, let's talk about time. In that time, and 20 years have passed, and it's a different
'cause
time for elves. And a different,
we believe that you, the audience, stop caring about the time. So we have
Is
to let
this
you
the
know
best
that
you
it's
can
been
do,
20
Amazon?
years.
Amazon, is this the best you...
Is this the best you can do, Amazon?
Why
I
does
kindly ask you.
Why does Elrond look like a child?
He looks more like he came straight out of Hot Topic and then went straight into an American Pie movie
Is Tom
and then
Holland
realized.
playing Elrond?
You know what's funny? Robert Aramayo actually played like the young Ned Stark in that flashback scene that was actually very good.
True. Made no sense. It's like, yeah, we live in a time where the past time has decided about the future time that we now
We
have
cannot
to
be burdened.
burdened by the time that we are into this time.
Unburdened by what has been.
And time
We
is
cannot
time.
A time is time when time.
And we also know
Unburdened by what has been.
it will be and will not be at the same time. And
That
also,
woman should take a drug test before every fucking stream.
There is no
Telling
drug
you.
test that can, test that range. It's off,
no,
it's off the
there's
charts.
only one drug test
the
that will
chart,
work, and
it
that is the
doesn't-
raw meat test.
The breathalyzer comes back.
No, no.
Oh, you've broken
I think
the
like
breathalyzer.
no, this is even beyond us. This is like Keith Richards level. The chart is you have to.
don't know who that
Elrond looks
is.
like a
You don't know who
fanboy.
Keith Richards is.
No.
Ryan,
Of course,
what the
please.
fuck?
What the fuck?
Maybe the blink of an eye to
now.
What?
Wait, what? Wait, what? I
Redo
forgot
that,
the scene.
will you?
It's been so long. What?
What is this?
What did he say?
Redo-
I mean, it has a comedic factor. I mean, at
Can
least
you
something.
redo the scene?
And in
I
that
don't remember.
time, 20 years may be the blink of an eye to an elf.
20 years.
Maybe the Africa.
20 years may be a blink of the eye of an elf. But
Again,
my
it's about
life, you
time.
fucker.
You know, it's time. We told you it's about time. Yeah.
Time.
What is wrong with these people? Have
Did
they
you hear
forgotten to
tatas have a
write stuff?
time? It's
Please,
'cause of
and
time.
look at also what this, this neck, whatever this.
It's to appeal to normies, because when you showcase the timeline of the Lord of the Rings franchise to a normie, they look at you like
He
you've
must
got
be
50 head.
Ryan, I mean, look at this. You don't know Keith Richards. Are you some kind of commie or something? It's like, what is going on, man?
Look, I didn't grow up in the 20th century where it took like 5 minutes before a song actually started.
The
Oh,
Rolling
you
Stones. We're
prog
talking
rock
about the Rolling
fuckers
Stones.
with your Pink Floyd and your Judas Priest bullshit.
By the way, my screen went black out of shame for this show.
Coach, you removing me showcases you have thin skin. Good to see Dragon, my brother digger, up top being a digger.
Be the money when I'm in need. Oh, she's a kind of friend indeed.
Oh, that
Oh,
should
she's
be
a
like
gold digger.
a membership tier list for reality based. You can be
Way
a
out
digger.
of doing good to me.
By the way, what's going on again?
I've lived an entire life in that time.
What?
No shit.
Again, he's talking
How
about time
fucking
again.
old are you?
Is he offended? Is a dwarf offended? I mean, by what?
Well,
by
like, dwarves live 250 years at most, or longer if you're a Durin, so why the fuck would you care about time?
A life you missed.
Okay, somebody play some sexy music, make it look
Please.
as gay as possible. I think I have
A life you missed.
A
life you missed. A life you missed.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back in Lindor,
Oh, thank you.
the elves' power and magic, I guess, is
What was that?
That's what this show deserves. We've got like 9 minutes. We can have like an Uber.
That was the
conclusion.
best thing that ever happened on 3 Sages in
Yeah,
a Time Machine.
just
Smash
get
the like
rid of-
button.
get
Smash
rid
like
of
button. That
this
was the
shit.
best. We have to cut this moment. We have to edit this moment out for her.
No, we definitely will.
Must be part of the no. It must be
Let's
part of
hear
the
one
intro.
It will
Let's
be.
hear one of your epic outros. Let's not fucking
No,
kill
torture him
ourselves
more,
with
sir.
this.
Torture him more.
No,
No, torture him
2-hour
more.
show. 2-hour show.
Oh, yeah.
2-hour
Okay.
show.
Okay.
Torture him some more.
So,
Oh my god.
what is our synopsis out of this? What is our personal resume? What do you think, Ryan? What do you think, Dragon Slayer? How is this show gonna be doing? What do you think the numbers gonna be?
Rest in piss.
Peace.
Rings of piss. I know you're going to get 3 more seasons. I know Amazon will push you to the moon.
Did they really commission 5
Yeah,
seasons?
Yeah,
Yeah, they-
$1
and they gotta
billion,
commit to
5 seasons.
Oh my gosh.
They
we're
gotta
gonna
commit
laugh.
to it,
We're
or
gonna laugh
otherwise they're
so
fucked.
much. Like
Like,
the
they
amount
can't.
of laughs that we will have.
Oh yeah, and you know what? And we're gonna have probably more laughs if Warner Brothers goes down the same road. Hey, look, I'm telling y'all, like, don't
War
think...
of the Rohirrim. It's
Actually,
an
can we
anime-inspired
show the
film.
War of the
It's
Rohirrim
not
trailer
gonna
super
work.
quick? Fuck
It's
it.
gonna
Sure.
look gay and
show it.
faggotry.
Yeah,
It's War
well,
of
okay,
the
hold on.
Raylos. It's mighty. It's not a
Wait,
2-hour
wait.
show. What up, my dick?
Damn, okay.
It's reality
Now you can rap.
Can't we just do the conclusions and have a great
yeah,
night?
no, bro.
No, we want to show one last thing, but you know how Dragon Slayer is. Look, man, you're Latino. Everything takes forever with you guys. Like, just come in, like a Latino just fixing yours. He gives you 6 different appointments and he fails to show up at all of them. And then all of a sudden he kind of like, I'm sorry.
I'm not that kind. I fulfill my duties and then have fun later. Okay, I take my job seriously.
I'm just going to make it clear what I think of War of the Rohirrim. It's essentially Disney Star Wars fucked Lord of the Rings' ass and created War of the Reylos. Fucking Rey is the big bad girl boss main character.
Yeah.
The guy who's opposed to her, whose father gets killed by Rey's father, is Kylo. They're gonna make peace. They're gonna fuck.
Let's just see it. Right. Let's just have him see it. He doesn't. He won't believe it if he doesn't see with his own eyes. This is how it starts, by the way. Again, they had Philippa Boyens on the show. Like, she helped write this. Okay? This was made by an anime director. Tell me the red flag you see.
Knows the tale of the War of the Ring. But 200 years before that...
Riders of the Mark! Brothers of Rohan!
Yeah.
There was an older tale.
Okay.
Arise!
We come with an offer to strengthen Rohan.
Hera, daughter of Helm, I, Wolf, seek your hand in marriage.
Our fathers speak as if I were not even in the room. I do not want to marry you.
You do not seek an alliance. You seek a throne. You will live to regret this, old man.
I'm surprised they kept this part where he killed him in one
punch. You will pay for this with your life.
Why is this so cheap?
The boy I knew would never wish for war.
The boy you knew is gone.
Fire!
But why is this?
What?
I don't know.
I saw the Japanese version of this trailer, gentlemen, and it was legions better.
You mean like the Japanese?
Yeah, Japanese,
like,
as in the trailer was done by the Japanese. You heard it in Japanese, and the style is different. How they present it is different, and it's way better. Especially one particular scene where that fucking CGI bridge drops. They barely show it in the Japanese trailer.
Okay,
because they know how much of an eyesore it is.
I'll show it. I mean, it's not a problem here. I got it.
Hey, Dragon Slayer.
Sonya's
asking.
One day, but I promise I will.
You mean when's the next episode of Reality-Based Tangent Kings?
For now,
the
Ryan is my custodian.
And how do you like your eggs? Please let me rephrase this question. How do you like your eggs?
First off, what kind of eggs? But if you're talking about normal food eggs, then I like them. I like them either scrambled or, if possible, not too cooked. You know, like
the side of moxie. And to answer Sonia's question, because I love me some ladies, is the next episode.
This show is called Sages, and we believe.
Hey girl, how you like
it? The next episode of Reality-Based Tangent Kings, which is the best Tangent King show you can find. It's next Saturday at 8 p.m. UK time. That is 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have a stellar cast, and we're going to beat Dragon Slayer's viewership again.
When sages behave like righteous.
Lord of the Ring. 200年前の物語が神山健二監督に託された。舞台はローハン。
This is the one you talked about?
Yes.
この国に今最大の危機が迫る。
Where the fuck did the Muma kill come from?
敵はかつて共に育った幼馴染ウルフ。
昔のあなたは戦いなど望まなかった。
放て！
Yeah, their acting is better than the dub.
王座は俺がもらう。
この城が唯一の砦。
ローハンの兄弟たちよ、今こそ立ち上がれ。
This is a movie, by the way.
お前は王の娘。皆の希望だ。
この国の運命は
信じて作戦がある。これが作戦？いい作戦だとは言ってない。
一人の王女に託された。
一人の王女に我々のサートは
国を導け。
運命の戦いが始まる。
国を一つにすることだってできたのに。なぜだ。
なぜだ。
私がお前を恐れるとでも。
恐れるべきね。
You are right. It is slightly better, but it still doesn't change the fact that the
Oh,
girl boss shit.
As often as I criticize Words of
I love you,
Paradise,
my beautiful butterfly.
He is a great content creator, and I have to say he's far better at reacting to fucking reviews than Coach and Dragon are. I'll tell you that.
What reviews? We were reacting to fucking trailer.
A trailer.
Why is your screen still
black?
black?
We were doing what's called the half-assed reaction.
Yeah.
Well, it just goes to show, gentlemen, why Words has the support of well over 4,000 subscribers. I have 2,700, and Coach, you got to focus on topical stuff. You'll be way past me, and that's why Dragon can barely scrounge 1,000.
I mean, more like because I haven't been able to put anything out. When I do, I get good stuff, so it doesn't matter. But hey, and I'm still getting subs and never losing them. That's the best part. But hey, look, my thing about that trailer, both Japanese and the non-Japanese version is, let me put it this way, all right? Unfortunately, it still won't change the fact that they decided to make this whole focus about some weird-ass girl boss story rather than focusing on just telling the story because they want the movie probably to be long. And, I mean, the director behind it is known notoriously for being very, like, pro-activist. But we got to see the reactions in the theater, you know, after it comes out, because you can only see it in theaters when it comes out. Yeah, I know, Sonia. I'm sorry. Okay, don't throw the chocolate at me, please, mommy. Don't throw it. I'll be nice. I'll be nice. I'll be nice. I'm working on content, right? I'm working on it, believe it or not. But
he's too busy fiddling with other people's money.
What? That's true. Got quite the job there. But hey, look, I'm serious. Like, this show, it could be a good movie, but at the end of the day, like any fans, I'm concerned, badly concerned, because of like the focus that they made.
Look,
especially on the Western trailer.
I'd rather believe that they can make something a bit more truthful than nowadays. But in the end, right, it's difficult to do, and it's difficult to put, and you know,
Hammerhand,
and rightfully so, because these characters are incredible, and I guess also that kind of rounds up everything we're debating tonight, that in the end, what is going on here is not serving entertainment, but rather the attempt of destroying mythology, of erasing our true magical, you know, origins, our spiritual roots, where we're actually coming from, what we're usually also discussing on the channel, because these are the topics that are, you know, kind of connecting us to this ancient past that we share, a bond that we share. And sometimes we can remember, sometimes these fractions, these shrapnels from the past, they sometimes light up in our now, in our present. Like we have deja vus, or we have encounterings that are weird, or people we're meeting that we felt like, hey, I know this person already, or I feel immediately connected to this person that just showed up in my life. And these are all like traces of the past. And definitely, Ryan, you're right. We should definitely cover all more current topics to gain more viewers, and I will do that if they are definitely related to our content, to, you know, what the spirit is of this collaboration, of this wacky collaboration. Then we entertain. But yeah, thank you everybody for showing up tonight. It was great. The chat was running through. I get my Americanized boot. All right.
No,
so
that's me. He's talking about me.
We gotta get Coach monetized, folks. So you can all
that would be awesome.
I mean, I just
donations to help supplement his
that would be
acting,
also Moxie.
School.
More collabs, please. The crowd demands it.
Yeah, if we can get to do
we love Moxie
2,000 subscribers, that would be amazing. So,
but
it's not the subscribers, but just more hours, definitely. Yeah, more views. But I have to be more consistent as well. It's been just like incredibly
wild.
busy.
Yes,
wild and down here.
Guests are very important, and just like with Will, I can arrange guests for this show. We'd love to have some women on.
Right.
Love to have Moxie on. We'd love to have Sonia on if she's courageous enough.
The videos that we have on the channel, if you're an actor, a performer, someone who likes to be creative, like even if it's for a hobby, if you need like tips to getting creative or kind of exploring your talents, everything, and on that behalf, you can find over here at the COACHMC studio, mindset tips also, creativity tips in general, some drawing videos as well, and some cool interviews with industry professionals and champions of their art, kind of sharing their secrets and their industry insights, and also a lot of just personal experiences from all these great achievers, a lot to learn from. So if you're looking forward to that type of entertaining education, come over to the COACHMC studios, subscribe also to these wonderful creators down here.
Now, I will have the pleasure to let everybody speak on their behalf, on their creative endeavors as well.
We're talking like this now.
Yeah,
okay.
I want to thank them for coming like this over tonight's episode of Three Sages and a Time Machine.
If you pay Coach enough, he will draw you from.
Help us to get monetized. Yes. Oh, yes.
Especially the ladies, because
explicit content up to decision of wife.
Creative community. We humbly request your support.
Yes,
to
we
help
will
us
need
to get
everyone's
monetized.
support. Yeah, give me support, and one day I give you Dragon Slayer plushie. You can do whatever you want with it. I don't know.
You'd be amazed how many people just tune in for the female guest. I'm telling you, man.
Oh, I know they tune in for that, but they want to tune in for me.
A lovely lady. Moxie's a lovely lady. She has a lovely family.
Amazing.
She's living the American dream in California, which is like mission impossible in this day and age. Sonia's also a lovely lady. We just need her to have the courage to speak her mind on topics and people that she personally enjoys. And I'm sure we'd all happily help her in that endeavor.
We definitely should all help each other out in this endeavor. Please tell us where we can find you.
Go ahead, Dragon Slayer.
Okay, if you would like to find me, the links will be in the description. I don't know, below, or maybe in Tonya will spam the chat. But either way, if you want to catch me, just type in Dragon Slayer commentaries. I make sarcastic commentary on anything coming out of the Hollywood dumpster fire. And yes, I just literally pulled out this accent because I really don't give a fuck. But hey, if you guys want to watch the content, it's there. I am working on quite a bit of content for Rings of Power. And I think I'm just gonna either make individual videos on each episode, or if I feel like I can just destroy it all in a single video and cover all three, pray for me either way. I'm sinking into madness here on when I am going to do that. But also I will be reviewing a movie in between the breaks of the Rings of Power episodes once I start making reviews for each episode each week, where I will cover a interesting film that is a mix of Guardians of the Galaxy and Dune. But it was made in India. It's like an original sci-fi story that takes some inspirations from the Mahabharata.
Is the main star Suck Deep Dick Shit?
Suck deep shit. I know Suck deep shit.
Oh, man.
He's a very good friend of mine.
Maybe Pooja Shakik.
We started together in drama school.
If you would like to know what movie I'm reviewing, I'm talking about Kali 2898.
Acting workshop
in India called Anus and Anal.
Hey, bro, like the movie I'm gonna review, just so you understand.
Yeah,
it has a budget. It had a budget of 6 billion Indian rupees, which in our Yeah, no, of course. In our currency, it would be like 119 million or something like that. But if we compare it, like if say the currencies were equal, the budget it would be like the equivalent over there of literally either one or both of the Dune movies combined. So it was a very big, massive project. They seem to have gotten quite the star power on this one, which I can see myself, right? And to give you an idea, in Rotten Tomatoes, it has an 89% audience score and a 79% critic score. Now, this one I can trust because it's a foreign film. The critics over there probably don't give a fuck about our sensibilities because it was released over there. And ever since it was released on June 25th in theaters and then June 27th and was streamed later on in Netflix and other platforms, it's acquired over 1,000 krone, which in Indian rupees is translated to 10 billion Indian rupees. So they've almost made double their budget back, which is awesome.
How diverse is it?
The right kind of diversity. They show all kinds of
very
people.
important to my kind of people.
Very
we
good.
really deserve
Very good. Very good.
A diverse ensemble.
It is on Netflix if you like to watch.
A toilet paper in sight.
No, it's actually very clean except the post-apocalyptic areas. But again, like I said, pretty cool film. I really hope that it gets a sequel.
What's it called?
Kalki 2898 AD. It's on Netflix. I'll show it here. I put the name in chat. Trust me, it's actually not bad. It's very fun to watch.
I will try to check it out, sir. I will give it a fair shot. I will give it a fair shot. Yeah. If I like it, I will see it again.
And Sonia,
maybe I would watch it twice for you.
Maybe you will, yeah.
Yeah.
And Sonia,
if I found deeper manner in this movie, I'll call you back. I will let you know.
We'd like to put links in chat. Yes, please watch the movie. Please watch the movie. We need links in
I will let you know. Yes.
Yes,
really.
please let me know.
If I really enjoyed it, I will watch it twice and then I will let you know. Right?
Let me know.
I will eat some curry.
Please eat some curry. Eat some tikka masala.
Yeah, while I'm watching this movie, I'm gonna eat some curry.
Yes, I know. I know this is Ryan's hell. He is considerably dying inside and outside. And, one day his hair will run away from him like it's nothing. Oh,
it's your hell, Ryan.
So, that was the strangest outro in the history of
Yes, quite the outro. But you know what? We are going to be good.
Dun, dun. Ryan, is there anything you want to add?
Yes, sir.
There's a reason you two are the two lowest subscribed channels in the Bigot-verse. And that last sequence is fucking living proof of why.
And yet we got loyal people.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for watching.
My brain got fried. We do not adhere to order, only chaos.
God. Oh my God, no wonder Coach's acting school is failing. No wonder Dragon Slayer's fucking background is failing. And no wonder I'm a blooper fest. Now, folks, thank you all very much for watching the latest episode.
Thanks to Sonia, MC.
Yep, of 3 Pretentious
Monkey Man
Wankers
04.
and reality.
1988 TV. Absolutely.
I look forward to taking over this show.
Thanks so much,
Coach,
Mephisto, Phantom.
You didn't do this to fucking Dragon, Coach.
No, I was just.
But you're Ryan.
I was just saying thank you to the people,
you
man.
You are colonialist. We fight back against
I was just giving a little bit background noise.
I can't wait to take over this fucking show when your schedule fucks you in the ass, Coach. You guys know where you can find me, Ryan Roger Athe, host and founder of Reality Based. We're going to debut Reality Based Rising Stars tomorrow as a show. We'll be going through the whole Bigot-verse as content creators who have gone far as rising stars. Give me a bit of a practice session on getting back into the Rising Stars series, because it has been a while. You guys and gals can see how it's done, and I can ease away from being rusty while covering about 20 content creators in the show. I'm going to go fucking mental. So that's tomorrow at 9 p.m. UK time, which is 4 p.m. Eastern. Thank you all very much for watching. Hopefully this is the most viewed stream on Coach's channel so that he can well, talk about topics of the day.
See you also at readytoperform.com if you're, in the creative outlet and want to know more about the services that we offer, and also see you next time with these incredible creators. It was a fun show, beautiful stuff. Thank you so much, everybody,
it's perfect.
for coming out, and see you with the next one. May Tolkien live forever.